time for Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. The first hour of Sports Time is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Scott Scoresworthy and Brian Davis.
Welcome into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you in our Family Leisure Studios. We're Sports Time. We're with you for the next 3 hours and a whole lot of things to talk about. Really busy day yesterday, or busy night last night. Really busy day today with a lot of news, NBA news, a ton with the draft just a week away. We've got some college news, and then obviously a lot of baseball news, and the big news from last night, the unfortunate passing of Willie Mays, which I know just got a lot of people, because the legend Willie Mays is, and kind of who he is as a person, who he is as a player. It just really, I think, shocked everybody last night when that news came out. Probably about an hour or so after we got off, about 7:30 or so, close to 8 o'clock last night. So we'll talk a lot about that throughout the next 3 hours. But, Brett, how are you this afternoon?
Brian, I am, and you're right about the life well lived of the great Willie Mays, 93 glorious years. And you know, I'm sure his family and many around him expecting it. We know he was supposed to be very prominent at these games in Birmingham, his hometown.
Yeah.
At Rickwood, the minor league game last night, the festivities they're having today, and then tomorrow night, the Cardinals and the Giants. I tell you, Brian, I immediately thought, I hope somehow, and I don't know his condition, but I know he's aged. I hope somehow Orlando Cepeda is there, teammates with Willie Mays on the Giants, and then was a part of the Cardinals. He was part of both teams, and just a legendary grand figure of baseball, like Willie Mays was. And you saw it last night with that overwhelming response. I mean, it was, and the news, while sad, but 93 and the well-lived life, and sure wouldn't want him in any discomfort. And now he sure not. The great physician has taken over for him, and that's beautiful. But Willie Mays, you just say that name, and it's evocative of the boys of summer. And I think about the great baseball series on PBS that Ken Burns did. He did the Civil War first, and prominently in that was Memphis and Shelby Foote, and then he did the baseball series. And in the baseball series, and today, George Will wrote just the best piece on Willie Mays. And the gist of the piece is, don't just discount or just give him credit as a talent, as he said he was so much more. And in this story that George Will wrote, and I'm trying to get to it now. I should have had it ready since I was going to reference it. But George Will said calling Willie Mays a natural was to underrate his craft and his smarts. And during that PBS special, George Will, just speaking right in the camera, how Ken Burns did those series, he said if Willie Mays got on base like early in the game, you didn't have a chance the rest of the game. He had decoded every one of your signals. He knew every key. That he was a genius.
Wow.
And this story that he wrote in the Washington Post today in the opinion section was really good. It starts his athleticism and ebullience encouraged the perception of him as a man-child effortlessly matched against grown men. Don't believe it. And it goes on that he was an utter genius out there on the field. And probably because he was such a star, he never wanted to take that swing at managing, because not a lot of superstars end up being even managers or even great managers. He would have been.
Oh yeah,
he would have been. Now, one thing that would have got him that gets so many stars is you just turn and you sprint as fast as you can and run to the warning track in the Polo Grounds, and you make the catch off of Vic Wertz's bat. It's that easy. Just go do it. And the rest of us mere mortals can't do that.
No, not at all. And I love, obviously, like you mentioned, a ton of tributes and stories and video pieces coming out since his death last night. And I love this New York Times headline, remembering Willie Mays as both untouchable and human. I mean, that's incredible. It really is.
That's beautiful. And he dominated the New York sports scene, Willie, Mickey, and the Duke.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And so just it's always it feels like over the last couple of weeks, this past month, it's been a lot, and it's always so sad to hear that these guys have passed away, but also at the same time, seeing all of these tributes and reading these stories and having other people tell stories about these people, is really, really cool to see. So we're seeing the same thing with Willie Mays today.
It really is, Brian, that we can appreciate them, celebrate now. Mm-hmm. Now really matters.
Sure.
I don't want to be, just held hostage by the past. The present's really good, but I sure want to remember it and pay tribute to it. And I thought last night of of a couple of things about Joltin' Joe DiMaggio. Late in his career, at any public appearance, and he fetched big coin for any public appearance. And it had to be, before he walked on the stage, they said you had to be handing him a check. That the name Joe DiMaggio,
sure,
that was his currency. And he would tell whomever that introduced him, this is the introduction you have to give me. Ladies and gentlemen, the Yankee Clipper, the greatest living baseball player, Joltin' Joe DiMaggio. Even in retirement, he wanted that introduction. Well, it kind of went Joe DiMaggio after his death to I think, I'm pretty sure, Hank Aaron, and then after Hank Aaron's death, certainly to Willie Mays. And it's going to be a good debate of who is that now.
Yeah,
who could demand that introduction.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a good question, and I'm not sure I really have an answer for it.
Now Willie Mays was also the oldest living member of baseball's Hall of Fame at Cooperstown before last night. And that now falls to Louis Aparicio, who came up in the Chicago White Sox organization and in the season of 1955 played the entire year for their AA affiliate at Russwood Park, the Memphis Chicks.
Wow. Is that right?
150 games played for Louis Aparicio in Memphis. Or for that team in 1955.
That's incredible. I didn't know that.
He's now the oldest member.
Wow.
The debate's going to be great. No wrong answers.
Right.
I immediately wanted to say Sandy Koufax, but I don't know that you can have a pitcher ahead of a position player.
Sure.
And Sandy Koufax's career was just such lightning in a bottle and a dominant 5-6 years.
Sure.
He didn't do it over 15, 10, 12, 15, or 20. I wanted to go Sandy Koufax, and I want to, especially in the purgatory that he put himself in. It might be Peter Edward Rose.
It definitely could be. That's not a bad option at all.
And then you want to start a great debate.
Well.
Start this one.
Okay.
Start Barry Bonds versus Pete Rose.
Oh, man. Oh, yeah.
Because I think Barry Bonds is the second best player to ever play.
I'm with
so
you.
So if he's alive, he's got to be the greatest living player, doesn't he?
That's right. Yeah.
The other one's not. Babe Ruth,
that's
my
right.
first greatest.
Yeah. Oh, I'm definitely with you on Barry Bonds. I love Barry Bonds.
I saw a great case made by someone today that we don't have to go to newsreels and we don't have to go to the past. The greatest living players playing today. Shohei Ohtani.
I was about to say, let me guess. Shohei Ohtani. Yeah, I mean, that's not a bad one either.
Can you really argue that?
Man, it's hard.
It's hard, isn't it?
Yeah, it definitely
with what
is.
He's already done, pitching
Certainly.
And hitting, a la the Babe.
Sure, yeah.
But that will be fun. I don't think today's the day. Sure, it's sure not today to argue over it.
No, not at all. And
I love Barry Bonds' statement.
Man.
About his
it was really good.
godfather, and he said just how proud he was to be the godson of Willie Mays, and said, "Give my dad a hug." in heaven.
Wow, that's powerful. I saw this last night, or I guess earlier today. It was tweeted out last night, but Sam Hardiman, who works over for the Daily Memphian, retweeted it. It was a story that Willie Mays told in his GQ profile in 2010 about his matchup with Satchel Paige in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm going to read it real quick. It's incredible.
Please do.
Here it is.
Good stuff.
We were in Memphis, Tennessee. It was like a playoff game. It might have been 48. Satchel had a very, very good fastball, but he threw me a little breaking ball just to see what I could do, and I hit it off the top of the fence, and I got a double. When I got to second, Satchel told the third baseman, "Let me know when that little boy comes back up." 3 innings later, I go to kneel down in the on-deck circle, and I hear the third baseman say, "There he is." Satch looked at the third baseman, then he looked at me. I walk halfway to home plate, and he says, "Little boy," and I said, "Yes, sir," because Satch was much older than I am, so I was trying to show respect. He walked halfway to home plate and said, "Little boy, I'm not going to trick you. I'm going to throw you 3 fastballs, and you're going to go sit down." And I'm saying in my mind, I don't think so. If he threw me 3 of the same pitch, I'm going to hit it somewhere. He threw me 2 fastballs, and I just swung. I swung right through it. And the third ball he threw, and I tell people this all the time, he threw the ball, and then he started walking, and he says, "Go sit down." This is while the ball was in the air. He was just a magnificent pitcher. That is such a cool story.
That is great. I wonder if that was played at Rustwood or at Martin Stadium.
That's a good question.
Where the Negro League team played in Memphis, owned by the Martin brothers.
Yeah, it's a good question.
Red Sox.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but definitely some good stories.
I talk about the greats always have great timing, and it certainly was not planned. It was the Lord moving in the mysterious ways He moves in.
Sure.
With all this going on, Juneteenth today and tomorrow with the celebration and last night's celebration at Rickwood, what timing and. Yeah, I think Rickwood is 6 miles from where he grew up.
Is that right?
In Birmingham.
Wow, that's
we'll
crazy.
Get more on that because we're going to have a visit from Pat Smith. It'll be one of those rare Pat Smith appearances where we probably don't get any football talk.
Yeah, and good reason, obviously.
Good reason.
A big excuse not to talk talk football today. With that, just really, really sad news. I mean, I think everybody, whether you remember him or if you're like my age and that's ancient history to me and my friends, I mean, it's still, holy cow, Willie Mays just died. And I know, like, that was my reaction last night.
A Goliath, though.
Absolutely.
Earth.
And last night me and Melinda had gone and gotten ice cream. We were sitting outside at a table. All of a sudden I get notifications going everywhere and I go, oh my gosh, Willie Mays just died. And before I knew it, multiple buddies are texting me, holy cow, Willie Mays just died. And really one of the stars that transcended among generations just because of who he was and what he was out there on the field is incredible.
Okay, we talk about Shohei now. In any player, any sport out there, is there somebody like that in 40, 50 years that will kind of move the sports world, like from the news last night to now that Willie Mays has moved? That's
a great question. I don't know.
I think that you can start with 2.
Okay.
Tiger and LeBron.
Well, those are two really good ones. I was thinking LeBron. I didn't even think about Tiger, but you're absolutely right with Tiger.
And I hope it's a long time after. I hope they're 93.
Absolutely, yes.
Or 94.
That's right. I don't want to be talking about either one of those guys.
Right.
For an extremely long time.
Because Brian, the day of the Tiger Woods car wreck in 2021, those first reports.
Mm-hmm. Oh man,
we were already speaking in those very hushed tones, and this may not work out well. Thank goodness it did.
No, absolutely. But you're absolutely right. I mean, it was kind of a scary, okay, we need to wait for more reporting and see what happens, because it was not like it was scary. It was a massive
I think Kobe
ordeal.
got it and deserved it. I think Kobe deserved every accolade and every
100%.
And especially with the child.
For sure.
and his poor widow.
Oh yeah, and that's another good one.
Really
is when Kobe passed. That
and
was
there could
massive.
be more.
Sure,
could be more.
there's certainly more. And if anybody has one that
That's
comes
a
to mind,
little bit of a macabre
sure.
subject.
Yes,
A whole lot macabre.
No, definitely. But it is interesting and definitely sad news last night with Willie Mays. We're going to talk a ton.
Did
about
you hear
it.
John Miller on the Giants TV broadcast?
Oh no,
when
didn't.
he announced it.
No.
Well, first of all, that voice.
Oh yeah.
And then pitch perfect, and I mean it sounded like the voice from the heavens.
Wow, that's crazy. I'm gonna have to go find it. I immediately, I immediately when I saw the news, I went to MLB Network to see what MLB Network was doing.
I did too.
And they cut
and
away from
Griffey
the game,
Jr.
and and just went wall to wall Willie Mays, and it was some really good coverage last night.
Brian Kenny's so good on MLB Network.
Oh yeah.
When he speaks, if you love baseball, when Brian Kenny speaks, you need to listen.
That's right. No, you're absolutely right. So definitely sad, and we'll talk a lot about Willie Mays today. So let me set up today's show. Before we get to top and not top story of the day, 3:30, Pat Smith will join us from Jocks in Birmingham. We're going to talk a whole lot more about Willie Mays and also the Rickwood game tomorrow night on Fox between the Cardinals and the Giants. Obviously, those go hand in hand with each other, and so we'll talk a lot about that in our next segment with Pat Smith. 3:45, we'll talk the NBA. A lot of news coming out, a ton of draft news coming out today as we're only about a week away from the NBA draft, so we'll talk all about that. We also have a coach already fired after 1 year, so we'll talk more about that at 3:45. 4 o'clock, John Goen from Timber Trust Golf. He'll join us, talk some golf, and make our weekly golf picks. We'll have to congratulate him. Look, I know John's probably going to come on here and think that nobody's going to give him credit for picking Bryson DeChambeau. I'll go ahead and do it right now. I did it on Monday. I'll do it again today. Credit to him. We'll give him credit when he joins us. Of course we are. Of course we are. Just because he, got the easy picks a couple of times with Scotty. I'm not. I'm a big man.
Bryson as your lock pick was not low hanging.
No. That was
you had to reach up to all in the tree.
That was an out there pick, and it worked out for him. So we'll talk a lot of golf.
He's ruined the golf picks for the rest of the year because he can't blow this lead.
No, it's all right. I also want to know if he's ever soaked his golf balls in Epsom salt, like Bryson. Like Bryson DeChambeau does. So we'll talk a lot of golf.
Stop there for a second. We left the G-rated nature of our show.
Hey, Brett, G-rated show.
I got you.
But you got it.
I thought you had a happy hour moment.
Oh well, very tough. Balancing the two shows, a little tough.
I kid.
We'll talk some golf at 4 o'clock. 4:30, we'll talk some baseball. Already a couple games in the books today. A lot of action last night. 4:45, we'll get to big number of the day. 5 o'clock, Rob Fisher will join us from Grind City Media, also the Grizzlies television broadcast. We'll talk a lot of NBA with Rob. As we'll wrap up the NBA Finals with him and move into all-season talk.
We'll ask him that Pete Rose question since
definitely
he knows
will.
Charlie Ussel very well.
Certainly.
Worked with him.
Yeah, so we'll definitely have to ask him that. We'll do all that at 5 o'clock. 5:30, we'll talk about what's trending, and at 5:45, wrap up today's show like we always do with Taco Bell Crunch Time. Let me remind you, we're in our Family Leisure Studios where family and fun come together. Summer is here, and it's time to party. Plenty of deals over there for Family Leisure. 24-foot above-ground pool for $19.99. All ladders, filter systems, and robotic cleaners, 20% off. Select in-stock patio furniture, up to 50% off. Play gyms, up to $1,000 off. And patio umbrellas for 20% off. Also, 4-person hot tubs, only $29.99.99. And don't forget about the discounted pricing on all in-stock pool toys and floats while supplies last. So head over to Family Leisure, 2120 Whitten Road, just north of I-40.
He's Bryant. I'm Brett. We're Sports Time, and we're with you till 6 o'clock on this Wednesday, June 19th, 2024. And we want you to be a part of it by texting or calling at 901-360-8255. That's the Sissy's Log Cabin text and talk line. And all our guests will appear, like Rob Fisher, John Goen, and Pat Smith on the Sissy's Log Cabin guest line at 901-360-8255. This hour of our show brought to you every day by Lexus of Memphis at 2600 Ridgeway and online at lexusofmemphis.com. Great offers on all 2024 models and always special leasing options. Driving luxury and confidence, knowing that every new Lexus comes with complimentary first and second maintenance services. Call them at 901-334-9673, but they want you to stop by at 2600 Ridgeway at the one and only Lexus dealership in town and put yourself in the driver's seat of that all-new 2024 flagship LS500. You'll be looking and you'll be driving in style. When you purchase a Lexus, you get top-of-the-line engineering and design they make for the luxury driving experience. Online at LexusOfMemphis.com. Experience amazing at Lexus of Memphis.
Top story of the day.
Well, my top story of the day has got to be what we spent this opening segment talking about, the passing
No doubt.
of Willie Mays, just an all-time legend, and what he meant to the game when he played and after that. Like I said, there are a handful of elite players that transcend generations, and he was absolutely one of them. When you were me and my buddies, and you grew up and learned about baseball, you learned about Willie Mays and what he did while on that diamond. And so seeing all of these stories, watching these videos has been really cool to see, and just a lot of stories of people that knew him, and other stories from back in the day that people are remembering, and it's really, really cool to see, but definitely sad that he passed away last night. We know the Rickwood game tomorrow, and obviously what that game meant to him and what it would mean to him. And so I know tomorrow night was already going to be a fun night of celebration, but now with this news, it's going to be a little somber, but I hope they take time, obviously, to tribute him, but also to celebrate what he did, his legacy, and what he did for the game of baseball.
I think they will. I think they'll nail it down in Birmingham tomorrow night. President George W. Bush, who adored him, fell in love with the New York Giants in those years when he was there. He was quoted once as saying, as a child, he never one time dreamed of being president of the United States. All he dreamed of being was Willie Mays.
That's awesome. That's incredible.
Great? And that's my top story, the goodbye, a heartfelt goodbye to Willie Mays, the Say Hey Kid, as Americana as Mount Rushmore, the Washington Monument, and the Grand Canyon. 5-tool player before we even knew what that meant. 660 career home runs, and that's playing in the national park that was the Polo Grounds, that was about as big as the Grand Canyon, and at Candlestick. And for 2 years when they went to San Francisco at Seal Stadium, it was hard to hit out of. If he had played in somewhere friendly, it would have been 800 home runs for him in his career. And he did it in every facet of being a big league superstar.
Not top story of the day.
He absolutely did. My not top story of the day has got to be the news we're getting from the NBA draft. A week from today, we will be talking about the first round, and ESPN put out a mock draft, 58 picks, as trade talks heat up for 30 teams. And you don't got to go far to get some interesting nuggets from this story. The number one pick, they have switched it. It is not Alex Sarr anymore. It is Zachary Rechacher, the French forward. And I've started to see this a lot more, where Rechacher has been moved up to number one instead of Alex Sarr. And in this story is this paragraph. The Hawks have been unable to bring Alex Sarr in for a workout to this point, but the door remains open for that to potentially happen. Clingan appears to be Rechacher's main rival at number one. His workout, where he shot the ball extremely well, showed surprisingly good passing ability, operating out of short rolls, and was impressive both in film study and in interviews, helped his draft standing, and makes him as possible sleeper selection here, as we discussed for several weeks. How in the world do the Atlanta Hawks have the number one overall pick, and they cannot get the guy that has been projected to go number one for months in for a workout That is incredible. You scroll down and find the Memphis Grizzlies. They have Cody Williams, the guard forward from Colorado, who had kind of an up-and-down season for Colorado this year, was really good when he was able to play, but injuries kind of kept him on the sidelines for part of the season. I'd be fine with that pick. Right in front of them, they have Rob Dillingham going to the Spurs. A pick under them, they have Nikola Topic going to the Utah Jazz. So it's going to be interesting, but as we're now a week away from the draft, we're only going to get more and more information as rumors and trade talks only heat up from now.
Sure will. My not top story is NBA as well, Bryant. Money. We're talking about the money tree yesterday. Money must not be an issue with the Detroit Pistons. They must have a whole orchard of money trees. Getting ready to eat $65 million for he coached 1 year. They were 14-68. Monty Williams. I'm glad if anybody in the league got this. I'm glad Monty Williams did. Had real heartbreak a few years ago when he lost his wife, one of the grand figures of the league. They didn't hold him hostage and make him pay him all this, and I bet he didn't want to get fired, but he's going to be okay. So at 14-68, that's $5.5 million per win for the $78 million overall deal, or $800,000 per loss. And he's still getting money from Phoenix too. If anyone in the NBA could get this done, I'm glad Monty Williams got it.
Yeah, good for him.
Good for him.
Once you get past the whole being fired thing, I mean, hey, go kick your feet up.
I'll bet you he didn't even sell his house in Scottsdale and is already back there. No more Detroit
Good for him. I mean, good for him. Crazy. That news this morning was unbelievable to see. But let's go ahead. That'll do it for top and not top story. Let's go ahead and get to our first break of the day. When we come back, we're heading down to Birmingham to talk Willie Mays and the Rickwood game that's taking place tomorrow night between the Cardinals and Giants. Pat Smith, he joins us next.
We are real sports talk. Sports 56 WHBQ. Available on your radio dial at 560 AM and 98.5 FM, as well as around the world online at sports56whbq.com. Take us with you everywhere by downloading the Sports 56 app. And at home, just say, Alexa, play Sports 56. Wherever you are, stay tuned in to real sports talk. Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Tuning into this station was the first best thing you have done today. This is Sheldon Rosengarten, and I'm with you, Mallory, and we are both with Mark Spensdorf Realtors. What's the next thing we can advise people to do if they are selling their home?
The next best thing? Remember, Sheldon, the real estate market is changing, and you need honest, forthright help navigating the new environment. Doing it on your own is like driving a car in a blinding snowstorm.
Correct, Hugh. The upcoming changes will mean a lot for both buyers and sellers, and that's why we always advise people to talk to 2 to 3 real estate brokers and make sure that we are one of them.
Sheldon, 2 to 3 real estate brokers? Really? Like 2 to 3 tee shots you always take?
Yes, Hugh. It's important to have a choice, whether in real estate or in golf. Now, back into the fairway, and to find out how you will move you, call them at 497-9756, or find out what they often say when you want the job done. Call Sheldon at 483-0546 or memphisrelocate.com. That's 483-0546.
Upgrade her diamond ring this summer with no money down and 0 interest for 5 years. Hi, it's Eric Hasseltine for my friends at Genesis Diamonds. Don't miss this amazing offer from Genesis Diamonds. 5 years, 0 interest financing. Not just on engagement rings, but also on earrings, bracelets, bands, colored gemstone jewelry, and pre-owned Rolex watches. So that luxury pre-owned Rolex Submariner or Explorer starts at only $150 per month. Now through the end of June at Genesis Diamonds on Poplar at Perkins Extended.
Marty McNate at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown is turning back prices to give you the best deal in this decade.
Doc gave me orders to turn back time with the 2024 Volkswagen Jetta SE. We got it for $249 a month, and it gets 42 miles per gallon highway. That's much better than my DeLorean, Randy.
You got that right, Marty McNate. And I hear at Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, you got choices.
Take your pick from 2024 Tiguan S front-wheel drive or 2024 Teos SE for $279.28 a month.
Great Scott, McNate. That's Gossett Volkswagen Germantown on Winchester Road. Plus, get 0% for 60 months on Taos.
Your future is whatever you make of it, Randy, so get to Gossett Volkswagen Germantown, 7420 Winchester Road, or shop online at GossettVWG.com.
or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
Summer's heating up, and so are the savings at Choate's. We've got 3 incredible offers to make your season spectacular. First up, our Grill and Chill with Choate's Summer Special. Upgrade your HVAC system and choose between a free Yeti cooler or a Green Egg grill on select systems. Then power through any outage with Choate's generators. Be one of the first 50 customers to buy a generator and score a massive 75-inch TV or an iPad. Also, don't forget about our tankless water heater offer. Purchase a tankless water heater from Choate's and receive a premium toilet free. Don't wait. These offers are too good to last. Turn to the experts with Choate's and call 347-8086 or visit us online today for your free estimate. Now introducing Choate's Air Conditioning, Heating, Plumbing, and Generators. Choate's. Let our family serve your family.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. It's got a little bit crowded over here in the last few minutes down certain sections of Sam Cooper, especially going outbound. It's been pretty heavy this afternoon over here on I-40 East, coming across the Hernando de Soto Bridge over from West Memphis, all because of the 55 bridge that remains shut down. Traffic's picked up down through South Haven just in the last few minutes, but it's moving on 55 down through South Haven into DeSoto County. Weimer's Jewelry, they're located 7525 Highway 64. They want you to know they are your full-service, family-owned jewelry store right here in the Memphis area. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stacks Norsworthy and Brian Gates.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you in our Family Leisure Studios, and joining us from Jocks down in Birmingham, Pat Smith joins us now. Pat, thanks so much for joining us. How are things in Birmingham?
Things are good, guys. This was a celebratory week around here with the Negro Leagues and the celebration of Willie Mays, one of our very own here from Fairfield, Alabama. And unfortunately, it took a turn last night when it was announced at Rick Wood at the stadium during the Biscuits game against the Barons that the legend had passed away last night. So it was a celebration anyway of his life and times and what he's meant to the game of baseball, but it definitely took a more somber tone last night with that announcement.
Yeah, and Pat, you know, the ultimate, the king of college football, Jocks, the radio station, and Birmingham, the town, and now the eyes of the world, really, you know, firmly on Birmingham for this celebration and for this walk down memory lane for him. I heard a great story last night that Charlie O'Finley, who owned the Oakland A's and even owned the ABA team here in Memphis, and the Oakland A's beat Willie Mays and the New York Mets in the 1973 World Series, that he once owned the Birmingham Black Barons. He owned the Negro League team in Birmingham. Is that right?
The Birmingham A's, they were an affiliate of the A's back in the days, and Reggie Jackson was one of the players that played for this team here in Birmingham. So Charlie O had a distinct history with this team. So yeah, the history, and just like you guys have with obviously the old days of the Memphis Chicks and the Negro League teams that you guys had in the area. Mm-hmm. I mean, it was very special. And another story that I heard that was crazy last night, and I'd never heard this story before, but of course, Willie Mays played as a high school kid because his dad, Cat Mays, was actually, I've had the opportunity to interview a lot of former Birmingham Black Barons, part of the Negro Leagues. And they always said that the greatest player that they ever saw in person was not Willie Mays, but it was Willie Mays' dad, Cat Mays. And, Cat played in the industrial leagues. And so what happened was that when Willie got into high school, they used to let him play on Cat's team. Basically, when the game was out of hand, he'd come in as a pinch runner. They'd put him in the outfield when the game was out of hand and stuff like that. And then by the time that Willie got up in age, he was like, he should be playing all the time. So as a high school kid, he started playing with kids. Well, Jackie Robinson came through Birmingham on a barnstorming tour in I think it was like 46 or 47. And he actually saw Willie Mays as a teenager. And so he had contacted the Brooklyn Dodgers and said, hey, guys, you guys need to send a scout down here to Birmingham because this kid is special. I'm telling you. And so the Dodgers sent a scout down by the name of Whit Matthews. And so Whit Matthews comes down and takes a look at Willie Mays as he's playing with the Black Barons, and he determines that he cannot hit the curveball and he will not have a future in professional baseball. So that didn't happen, but instead the crosstown rival Giants thought differently, and they ultimately signed him. So instead of him becoming an icon with the New York and San Francisco Giants, he was that close to becoming a Brooklyn Dodger, and ultimately maybe even a Los Angeles Dodger. So that's a story that I heard last night around the ballpark, that one that I had never heard before, Brett. So I thought that was pretty interesting.
Was it electric last night at the ballpark, and especially with the breaking news? It looked it on MLB Network.
Yeah.
No, it was, Brett. I mean, first off, and listen, folks in Memphis, they know that there's been plenty of times in Birmingham where we have absolutely fumbled situations. Back in the old days, instead of us getting the hub for Delta Airlines, it ended up in Atlanta. We almost got a major Ford manufacturer dealership and, plant here in Birmingham, and it ended up going to North Georgia. There's been times in our history where we have absolutely fumbled and we have just not done a very good job of presenting ourselves and moving forward as a community. But what they've been able to do with Rickwood Field is you were in a ballpark and you're looking down the baselines and you're seeing an absolute, just incredible field, incredible what they've been able to do about putting this ballpark together, but you don't feel like you're in a cookie-cutter, brand-new stadium in Major League Baseball. Yes, the field is manicured. It doesn't look that way on the outfield wall except the old advertisements. But when you sit down, and I bought 3 tickets for my dad and for my youngest son, and we sat out there. I didn't have a media pass. I sat out there with the fans. And just being in there, it did not lose one single ounce of what that stadium means as the oldest ballpark in America. And, of course, then when the announcement came through, it was just surreal. And seeing everyone stand up and tip your cap and doing the things that they did, it was so surreal, because knowing that this week was a celebration of Willie Mays' life, and he lost his life yesterday. And we had his son on the program on my radio show last week, Michael Mays. And the last question I asked him, because I had heard through the grapevine that his dad was in declining health and not doing very well. And I asked him how his dad's health was. And he said, well, he's 93 years old, and there are certain days that are challenges and others that are not. But the travel back to Birmingham would have been pretty tough on Pop. So, I'm going to be there. And he was here yesterday morning, and he flew out immediately when the news started turning after lunch that his father was declining. And my understanding is that he is going to be on a red eye back to Birmingham for tomorrow night's game. So he went out west to visit, obviously, to be with his father, and then he's flying back for the game. So the last 24 hours has just been very surreal. I guess that's the word that I keep using, but there's no other word that I can use to describe what we're experiencing, because this is it's just one of those type of events that, it was a celebration. We did not think that we would be discussing the death of maybe one of the best baseball players in the history of the game.
Pat, really and truly, especially how these college football coaches fly around on private planes like it's their own personal Uber. Couldn't Major League Baseball, the Giants and the Cardinals, send a private plane for him instead of him having to stand at baggage check waiting for a flight?
I got a feeling, Brett, I'm not really sure about his travel itinerary. I literally talked to someone very close to this game, literally when I got off the air today, and they told me that he was obviously going to be back here in Birmingham. I would be shocked if it was not a private plane. I will tell you this: I have chastised Major League Baseball because of their leadership and Rob Manfred, but I can tell you, dealing with the people at Major League Baseball since October, because that's when the game was announced and everything that was going to be done here in Birmingham, I have been very close to the situation. I've dealt firsthand with them almost on a daily basis. And the way that, as a fan last night, I went and parked my car at Legion Field. I got on a bus and drove 10 minutes on a bus with another 100 people to get into the stadium, and then walk another block or two to get to the stadium to be a part of history last night. And let me tell you something, it has run like clockwork. It has been just a phenomenal last 24 hours, and I anticipate when the Cardinals and Giants get ready to play tomorrow night, it will be the same thing. It's been a really well-done event, guys, and I have to give my kudos to Major League Baseball.
Are you going to be okay deep behind enemy lines in brave country wearing your Cardinal gear tomorrow night?
Well, Brett, just because you guys are professionals just like I am, and I will not be sporting anything of Cardinal anything tomorrow night. I will just be my professional golf shirt and slacks or whatever.
So you're in the press box, not in the seat.
Yep. So,
gotcha.
Yep.
I don't blame you.
But now last night, my son was sitting next to me wearing his vintage 1982 Ozzie Smith jersey. So I felt like that was good homage for him and the Cardinals coming to town on Thursday.
And with your dad, who I think 81 years young, is that right?
86.
86 years young. Good deal.
86.
Glad you took Dad
there
and
with
son
me
out
last
night.
Yep.
That's great, Pat.
Yep.
That is great.
3 generations of Smith. So
that's
good fun.
So, Pat, what will tomorrow night be like? You already kind of got the taste of it. You've been telling us how last night was. When we get the Major League teams in there, when we get the Giants in there tomorrow night after this news yesterday, we get the Cardinals in there tomorrow night on Fox. What will it be like tomorrow night?
Well, I'll tell you what, one thing that Major League Baseball has done a really good job, there's been a lot of events this week of education, giving, which is way overdue, the Negro Leagues and how important they were to the development of baseball in this country.
Absolutely.
And a lot of the Cardinals and Giants are going to have opportunities to talk to some of the HBCUs in the state of Alabama tomorrow, because the Cardinals are flying in from Miami. I think San Francisco's flying in from Chicago. So they'll be getting in here tonight, and then tomorrow morning, I think there's going to be an opportunity to have some speaking events before everyone gets to the stadium and go through their normal routine of BP and things of that nature. It's just going to be very special.
Sure will.
The fact that there's only 8,000 seats in this stadium, and it's sold out in less than 20 minutes. It's going to be electric, and then just having the memorial, obviously, for Willie Mays tomorrow night, it will take on just a completely another level. It was, once again, just turning on the national news this morning and seeing a standing ovation in Birmingham, Alabama last night when the announcement came over the Jumbotron was just, it was something else. And I think you're going to get more of that tomorrow night. Obviously, it will be on Fox TV, so more of America will be able to see it.
Pat, have you gotten a list from Major League Baseball, or do you expect one at some point in the day tomorrow on who exactly of names from the past, Hall of Famers, baseball legends that might be there? Because I texted you and I said earlier on our show today, I just hope so badly that he can be and will be there, Orlando Cepeda, since he played for both the Giants and the Cardinals.
I have not seen that list yet. I just literally, as you were saying that, I was checking the itinerary for tomorrow to see if there was anybody or any hint at potentially who's going to be available. And I'm just seeing regular Cardinals and regular Giants tomorrow, obviously, and the managers. Nothing detailed yet at who else potentially could be on the itinerary to possibly be on the field or be a part of this. I know that there was some surprises that even the people close to the game, people that let me in on the secret months and months before it actually became to fruition that the Cardinals were going to be playing here, they have said that there's a couple of surprises in store for tomorrow night. And that was before the announcement that Willie Mays had passed away. So, Brett, I'm like you. I think it goes without saying. I think there will be a very, very big representation in regards to – now, see, Barry Bonds, he's already here. That's Willie Mays' godson.
He should be. He should be celebrated.
Yeah. Him and Derek Jeter they're having a celebrity softball game tonight at Rickwood Field. And Derek Jeter is one captain of one team, and Barry Bonds is the captain of the other team. So
good captains.
So Barry Bonds will obviously be here, and he had some poignant things to say on social media over the last 12 hours. So I would assume he would be a major part of anything that potentially is celebrated on the field tomorrow night.
Yeah, well, it sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to watch it. I know you can't wait to get there tomorrow night. But, Pat, as always, thanks so much for joining us, and enjoy tomorrow night.
Thanks, guys. Always a pleasure, and look forward to Brett getting down here and seeing a game at Rickwood Field one day soon.
I'm ready to. I am ready to. You're the best, Pat.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks, guys. Talk to you soon.
Pat Smith from Jocks joining us in Birmingham, where it will be the center of the baseball world tomorrow. All eyes will be on that. It's awesome. And, obviously, especially now with what happened last night, there's going to be, I'm sure, some really good tributes, some really good things.
You think every player on both sides should wear 24?
Oh, that'd be awesome. I would love that.
I think so too.
I would love that. And so we'll see.
I know they're going to wear throwback vintage to the day.
Yeah, so it's gonna be fun tomorrow night on Fox. All the festivities, and then the game itself will be a lot of fun as well. But let's go ahead and get to a break. And when we come back, a lot of NBA news out today, some draft news, also just some off-season news that we need to get to. We'll talk about all of that and more next on Sports Time.
Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. In Jason's Deli, when you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises. Just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and great quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it. Because you're not just taking the bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets, vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com. So whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway and Park Place Center, Poplar Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli is wholesome food and no surprises.
It's time to ride during the Gossett Mitsubishi Motors Summer Sales Event. Check out 43 MPG Highway in a new 2024 Mitsubishi Mirage, $17,935 or $249 a month. Need extra room for your vacation? Let Gossett make it happen with 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander, $30,490 or $449 per month. And go for miles and miles with 420 total range in 2024 Mitsubishi Outlander PHEV, $599 a month. Plus peace of mind with Mitsubishi's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Gossett Mitsubishi, 1870 Covington Pike, and 24/7 at MemphisMitsubishi.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Military rebate, 500 loyalty rebate. Mirage Outlander 84 months. Mirage RHO 10934. MSRP 18435. Outlander RZO 55981. MSRP 31490. PHEV RZO 35245. MSRP 48065. Includes 1095 acquisition fee. Sale price includes all rebates and incentives. Excludes processing fee of $695. Lease terms includes processing fee of $695. 15 cents per mile excess wear and tear. With approved credit, see dealer for complete details. Offer valid through end of the month. Dealer stock only.
Nestled in the heart of East Memphis, located corner of Park and Cherry, is a beautiful residential neighborhood. I'm here at Town Village Audubon Park interviewing a new resident, Carolyn. Share with us why you chose Town Village.
Well, if your parents or special friends need to make that big move, let me share with you my experience. It was tough for me to leave home, but then I discovered Town Village. I would like to highly recommend Town Village to you and your loved ones. After looking at all the amenities and meeting all the people and staff, I was hooked. From restaurant, bistro, 3 meals per day, housekeeping, transportation, security, health care, physical therapy, exercise room, and even a heated pool and spa. Come see us and make your new home at Town Village.
Visit us and call Daniel at Town Village Audubon Park at 901-374-7342. like home, town, village.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, Automatic Gates Construction tailors custom gate solutions for all your residential, commercial, and industrial needs, including repairs, maintenance, and installation. Automatic Gates Construction specializes in designing and installing automatic gates and fencing that seamlessly blends security, functionality, and aesthetic appeal. Elevate the safety and efficiency of your property with a premium gate solution. Automatic Gates Construction at myautomaticgates.com.
It's the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event. It's going strong at Gossett Kia on the Pike. Are you ready to ride in your new Kia with 41 MPG Highway? We Gossett! 2024 Kia Forte LXS, $199 a month, $34.99 to a signing. How about 282 miles of EPA estimated range with new 2023 Kia EV6 Win, $249 a month. And 2024 Kia Telluride LX3, $57 a month, both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease. And get peace of mind with Kia's 10-year 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Call Bobby J. He's ready to put you in your new Kia today. Gossett Kia 1900 Covington Pike online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Rebates and incentives. Lease includes PF 695, 650 acquisition fee, EV6 561 0964, MSRP 50,200, Telluride RG 510 849, MSRP 38305, Forte LXS RE 78169, MSRP 21820. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 6/30/2024 with approved credit dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. This hour is brought to you by Lexus of Memphis. Here are your hosts, Brett Stacks, Norsworthy, and Brian Gates.
Well, a couple months ago, when the Detroit Pistons hired a new general manager, there was rumors out there that it had been discussed in meetings when they told him he was going to get the job that being able to fire the head coach would be something he would be able to do if he wanted to. Now, when those rumors came out, I did not think it would actually happen.
I didn't either.
But this morning, it did. The Pistons fired Monty Williams earlier this morning and still owe him $65 million.
And the Suns owe him
And the
cash.
Suns still owe him money after 1 year coaching the Detroit Pistons. That blew my mind
That's
when
great.
I saw that this morning. Good for him.
And if Monty Williams wants to, well, if he just wanted to, he could probably jump up and down and get one of these open jobs right now.
Sure.
If he just had to work. When you're sitting on about $90 million from what you made last year with the Pistons, what the Suns owe you and what the Pistons owe him, he's not having to jump up and down over anything.
No. On June 19th, I don't think I'm going to be going saying, hey, I need a job, hire me.
And he sure could be the first guy if there's an in-season opening. And, in next May when the NBA carousel starts spinning, he sure could be that guy. Coaching seniority in the NBA right now,
man.
Greg Popovich way out there, number one. Eric Spoelstra 2. Steve Kerr 3, Michael Malone 4, Taylor Jenkins 5.
That's crazy.
Current job with the team you're with, that's the top 5.
That's hard to believe that Taylor Jenkins is already up there.
It really is. Tom Thibodeau 6, Billy Donovan 7, Tyronn Lue 8, Mark Daigneault 9, Chris Finch 10, Rick Carlisle 11. None of that top 11's in trouble. Jason Kidd at 12 is not in trouble.
No.
13, Chauncey Billups. With Portland.
Well, yeah.
14, Jamal Mosley. 15, Willie Green.
Well, yeah.
16, Mike Brown. Just new big deal.
Oh, yeah. He's good.
17, Will Hardy. 18, the champion, Joe Mazzulla.
Yep.
19, Quinn Snyder. 20, Ime Udoka. I don't think there's going to be anything early in the season. Somebody, unless goofballs with the Knicks
Oh, yeah.
Dolan,
Yeah.
unless Dolan did something dumb to Thibodeau.
Could.
Yeah.
But I mean, we were saying
He loved
that
burning money.
Sure. I mean, but Brett, we were saying that last year, and then here comes Adrian Griffin, who has his
That's
team
true,
well
Brian.
above
They sure
500,
did.
and they can him in the middle of the year. I mean, that
They
was
sure did.
out of left
That's a
field.
great point. That is a great point. Nick Nurse, 21. Darko Rajakovic, 22. Doc Rivers, 23. Charles Lee, 24. Jordy Fernandez, 25. Mike Budenholzer, 26. 4 openings. We know the Lakers are going to hire soon. J.J. Redick, Washington, Cleveland, Detroit now open.
Yeah, and we'll see what happens with them. Detroit now, the big opening of what do you do there, because it felt like last year when we were talking about this, it was, okay, well, they haven't been very good, but look at that roster, look at the young guys they have, they'll be able to do something with it. Now I look at this roster and I say, it's a mess. You've got 2 point guards that you drafted, you've got it feels like you have 17 centers. You have 4 centers that you can't really play them together.
It's real odd parts.
It's not working at all. We very clearly saw that last year. So I mean, it's going to be a tough job for whoever takes it. But
it sure will be. And Bryant, I'm going to make this prediction when we do New Year's predictions for 2025.
Oh geez.
I'm making this one at the end of the 25 season. One or both says, I've had enough. Right into the sunset. Pop in Steve Kerr. Next year's it.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised at all. Maybe even more Steve Kerr than
Sure could be.
than I think Pop. Just because if you listen to kind of everything coming out of Golden State, who knows what next year will be, and I could see him saying, yeah, I'm good. Enough's enough.
A lot of deals getting done,
That's right.
too. You can, with the finals over, with the players, you can do that with your players, Pascal Siakam. And he helped the Pacers. And
Certainly.
He never has, but thank goodness we don't have to worry about him coming to the West.
Yes,
Stay over there.
yes,
Stay
yes.
over there.
Stay in the East, and Pascal Siakam, like you said, a huge addition to that Pacers team, was big time for them late in the season into playoffs. And that was kind of the big question of, will you be able to keep him and kind of get this team to stay together going into next year? Well, now they've done that, and I think definitely a great move for the Pacers. But we'll continue to see a lot of these deals coming out, extensions for players, now that, like Brett said, that can be done with the finals completed. But like I mentioned, a lot of news still to come out, a lot of news today for the NBA draft, and more to come in the next couple of days as we get closer and closer to that NBA draft. But let's go ahead and wrap up this first hour and get to a break. And when we return, we're going to talk some golf. John Goen joins us next.
Looking for sports in all the wrong places? Try the Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square. Fun, friendly, exciting, and comfortable with wall-to-wall TVs for all your favorite games, 24 taps for all your favorite beers, including NA and local craft beers, and an in-front-of-the-wall full bar for all your other favorite beverages, including a full wine list. And in an upscale menu, patio seating, daily specials, and events, and you found all your sports in the one right place. The Owner's Box Sports Bar and Grill in Lakeland Town Square, Highway 70.
Free. Who doesn't love free? With MyLowe's Rewards, you get the member-only treatment that's actually worth it. Enjoy free member gifts you'll love. And once you reach Silver Key status, you can get free standard shipping. Because Lowe's knows nothing feels better than free. Learn more about our new loyalty program at Lowes.com/MyLowe's today. Program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowes.com/terms for details. Member gifts may be subject to additional terms and restrictions. See Lowes.com/shipping terms for details. Subject to change.
All 650 acquisition fee, Telluride RG 510849, MSRP 38305, Forte LXS RE 780 169, MSRP 21820. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 6/30/2024 with approved credit. Dealer stock only.
Hey Jeff, I hear you've got the Kia Summer Sticker Sales event going on right now at Gossett Kia South on Mount Moriah. Give me some scoop.
Randy, the scoop is I'm ready to put you in a new Kia for less. 2024 Kia Forte LXS 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 do-it signing. How about a 2024 Kia Telluride LX 357 a month? $39.99 do-it signing, 24-month lease.
Plus 0% for 48 months on 2024 EV9. And every Gossett Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia South on Mount Moriah.
Gossett Kia South, 2680 Mount Moriah, or online anytime. KiaMountMoriah.com.
Former CI officer Jason Hansen here. As someone who's dedicated my life to protecting people, I know the importance of guarding what matters most. And right now, with the global instability, that means securing your financial assets with gold. For me, I trust Advantage Gold with my own investments. Call them right now at 800-900-GOLD for a 100% free gold guide. And mention my name, and you'll also receive a complimentary $1,300 gift. Call Advantage Gold at 800-900-GOLD right now.
Paid for by Advantage Gold. Performance may vary. Past performance is not indicative of future results. Always consult your financial and tax professional.
Rick's Powder Coating for a beautiful finish every time. Rick's Powder Coating specializes in automotive, ornamental, residential, and industrial coating. With 2 conveyor lines and the largest batch ovens in the Mid-South, Rick's can accommodate all of your powder coating needs. Locally owned and operated since 2002, Rick's Powder Coating will customize a beautiful finish just for you. Drop by or call to see how Rick's Powder Coating can bring color to your life. 901-367-2771 or rickspowdercoating.com.
Jason's Deli. When you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises. Just delicious sandwiches, crisp salads, and quick quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it. Because you're not just taking a bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special guides, vegan and gluten-free options available. Convenience and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com. So whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar in Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and on Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli is wholesome food and no surprises.
Sports 56 traffic.
It's running a little bit slow over here. This is not going to surprise you on 240 East over here at Poplar. It's got a little bit heavy at times through the Midtown area, all mostly because of the fact that 55 Bridge remains closed. That's why it's been so wacky the last couple of weeks out here up and down 240 this time of the afternoon here in the Midtown area as it increases with more volume on 55 through South Haven, continuing down into DeSoto County. Weimer's Jewelry, located 7525 Highway 64, is your full-service, family-owned jewelry store here in Memphis. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
We are Sports 56, WHBQ Memphis, and W253DF Memphis, Flynn Broadcasting Stations.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Brian Davis.
Welcome back in Sports Time. Brian Brett with you in our Family Leisure Studios, and joining us now on our Sissy's Log Cabin guest line, John Goen from Timber Trust Golf joins us. Talk some golf and make some picks. John, thanks so much for joining us. How are things this week at Timber Trust?
Everything's good, guys. Hey, so just real quick, whoever's working the board, please make sure you have the dump button ready because we're out here playing our practice round for the 6-man this weekend. And we're out playing, and my language sometimes on the golf course is not great. I'm going to just throw that out there.
Well, I appreciate the heads
from
up.
the get-go.
I really do.
I'm just giving them some warning here a little bit.
Thanks, John. We almost feel like using some of that language directed at you for that great pick with Bryson DeChambeau.
Well, we talked about it last week, fellas. I mean, I kind of had a feeling coming out of the PGA that, if you really look at, how things flipped a little because, Xander had kind of his heartbreak the week before and then shows up the next week and plays well at the PGA. Bryson has his heartbreak at the PGA and shows up for the U.S. Open. And gets a gift from Rory McIlroy. So, you know, I mean, they both kind of had some good fortune.
What was the biggest factor? Bryson DeChambeau coming through or Rory handing it to him?
Well, I mean, Bryson did his job in that situation, right? I mean, he kept applying pressure because, again, it's been 10 years since Rory's won a major. And, you know, he's put himself in these positions. And you said it when you and I were texting back and forth Saturday. You did say that Bryson was going to blow his doors off, but he didn't. But, you know, that Rory couldn't handle the smoke. And, you know, at the end of the day, you're right. I mean, Rory just has something between his ears coming down the stretches of golf tournaments right now that he can't get past. And I thought he was fine. The short miss, and you could feel there was a high probability of the wheels starting to come off of this thing. And sure enough, it did. I mean, he bogeyed 3 holes coming in and kind of, you know, literally kind of handed the opportunity back to Bryson. But again, you know, like I said, Bryson did his job. He kept applying pressure when Rory was up 2, hit an incredible 3-wood into 13, drove that green. And, you know, he said he thought the putt was going to be a little bit faster. And, you know, obviously he missed a shorty later on. But you know, at the end of the day, it was one of those things where, you know, Bryson was doing what he needed to do. And Rory, as soon as he had all that pressure and everything on him and he missed that short putt, you didn't feel really good about that if you're a Rory fan.
John, I know you were listening attentively Monday, as you always do. I know you plan your day around listening to these airwaves and to us, so you know what's coming. I asked Bryant this question on Monday. Let's go rapid fire. Will Rory McIlroy ever win another major?
I think he will.
Will Tiger?
No.
Jordan Spieth?
Ooh, tough one. No.
Curveball for Monday. I asked Brian about Brooks Koepka. I'm going to ask you about, will Ricky Fowler get his first?
I think Ricky will, but I think it's going to be one of those ones that we kind of generally talk about. I think it's either going to be a PGA or an Open Championship. I don't think the U.S. Open or the Masters is going to be his deal.
Such a great answer.
That is a good answer.
I'm with you on every one. Tiger granted the lifetime exemption. My goodness, if he didn't do enough,
what difference does it make?
Well, and if he didn't do enough to deserve it, who in the world would? If anybody complains, I would just merely suggest to them, you try winning 10 majors, and we'll give you the same thing. When you get to 15, let us know.
And, okay, I agree with that. However, where's the point in time where Tiger gracefully bows out of this whole thing, too, because he looks at it from the standpoint of he's taking somebody's spot and he has no shot of doing anything.
I don't think it's incumbent upon him to, but it's interesting you bring that up, John, because in my life, I saw 2 sports stars that at the end, it was really sad. And today with Willie Mays prominently in the news, watching him in the 73 World Series was sad to watch. It was, I mean, he couldn't not fall down trying to get out of the batter's box at 42 years of age. At the end for Muhammad Ali last year, not 2024, but 2023 in the cold weather, it felt like to me watching Tiger out there, he was injured too. I was watching Muhammad Ali against Trevor Berbick with Howard Cosell begging, and the name of all things holy, stop this fight, referee, stop it now.
Look, I mean, we've talked about it. I mean, Tiger's not getting any healthier. And, you know, and this was his easiest golf course to play. This was his easiest one that he's played this year. It was warm. There weren't any delays. And this was going to be his best opportunity to do something. And unfortunately, you know, it was clearly a struggle.
We're scared to watch him step off a sidewalk.
Right. I mean, yes, we want Tiger there, and he's clearly not at a point where he's going to turn into, you know, an honorary whatever at the age in which he is. But, again, I don't, at this point, after this most recent accident and surgeries and this, that, and the other, you can't tell me that you feel confident at all that Tiger has any chance whatsoever of doing anything in a major again.
Yeah.
I think 19 was it. 19 was his shot, and he went out and did it. And could he kind of be like a Fred Couples at Augusta? Even as Fred was into his 50s, where Fred for the first few days at Augusta National could kind of get himself into contention, but either late Saturday afternoon or into Sunday, kind of falls by the wayside a little bit. Sure, I think there's that potential. But as difficult as the walk is for Tiger there, the golf course obviously though sets up well for him to be able to do some things, and play the way he plays. So, again, I thought with the conditions of the golf course and everything else that this week in particular, the Tiger should have had a pretty legitimate chance to do something. And, but it also, I think, shows that with him only playing in majors and not playing any other competitive golf leading into these things, that he just, as much as he feels like he might have some competitive fire still left in him, if you don't at least test that more than just the week of the event, you can't feel really good about any of that stuff.
Yeah. John, back to Bryson DeChambeau and his win. Have you ever soaked your golf balls in salt water? That was kind of the big story from his win in the U.S. Open.
Well, we're talking about it for this weekend. We've already got some Epsom salts just to make sure that we might get some benefit out of it. We're trying to give ourselves a little bit of an edge with the old Epsom salt thing. So
why not?
Everything else for him, why not? I'm gonna start working on some bulging irons, and here we go.
Yeah.
Brian, this is where I could get in really big trouble if I said right now I'm soaking my balls in salt water.
Well,
that's
see, that might walk the fine line there a little bit, Fred. I was trying not to go.
It's
down
a golf
path.
segment.
It is.
It's a golf
That's right.
segment.
That's right.
I got a friend of mine who, when we go out and play in the heat and everything, likes to, use pickle salt. So we're talking about some, pickle salty golf balls. So pickle salty balls. That's what we're really we're going to kind of push the envelope a little bit from that perspective. So
there you go.
We're going to add just a different element, take the Epsom salt and, compound it a little bit with some pickle juice.
John, grade the golf course. Grade Pinehurst number 2 for us.
Oh boy. I think it's a good test. I think that the USGA, as much criticism as they had going in, and all the stuff early in the week with, dropping golf balls and watching them roll off and this, that, and the other thing, I thought the golf course was on the edge, but not over the edge. I like Pinehurst number 2 for a once every 4, 5, 6 year.
Back in 2029.
Yeah. And so I thought that there was the possibility by the weekend that the USGA would maybe push the envelope a little bit. Because we had some guys over at the golf course Thursday after round 1 and 5 under pars leading, and they're like, man, I didn't want to see 5 under par leading. I'm like, don't you worry. And Bryson wins at 6. So the leaders shot 5 on Thursday, and they only got to 1 under par the rest of the week. So, it really wasn't that big a deal. And, like I said, I think the USGA didn't get the golf course too far out of whack, but they got it to the point where in Rory's situation, like 15, he hits 2 flat of a 7-iron, carries too far, bounds over the back of the green, can't get it up and down, and makes a bogey there. And Bryson comes in with his 9-iron, flights it on a completely different trajectory. The ball comes in, lands much softer. Same thing on 17. I mean, the shot Bryson hits on 17 is incredible. And, but he flights it so high, and because of, he's used to his clubs being the same length, and he knows exactly what they do, and everything else that it's a game changer for him. Now, granted, as they have also talked about, I mean, the reason he can do that is just because of how fast he is. I mean, 192 mile an hour ball speed with a driver. I mean, that's crazy. And that the fact that he literally flattens it a little too much while he's out warming up on Sunday and has to pop in a new, driver head to be able to go out and play. And then even says after the round, I really shouldn't have done that because I need to break these things in with about 60 shots as opposed to 5 shots like I did.
Unbelievable.
I'm like, oh, okay. Yeah, that's good stuff right there.
That's something we all have to worry about.
Yeah, I wish I had the club head speed to worry about having to break a driver head in 60 shots. I mean,
I wish I could catch one on the club face.
I figure at the end of the season, as I get ready for the next year, that driver I'm probably swapping out for whatever the next one is just as fresh as the one that came out of the wrapper earlier in the year. So,
John, am I correct with Bryson DeChambeau on LIV? And unless you went to a LIV event, we won't see him again until the Masters as PGA golf fans. Is that right?
He won't go to the Open? Is he not in the Open?
In the United States, at a tournament in the United States.
Oh, in the U.S.? Well, yeah. So that means you better get to Nashville this weekend.
Yeah. Would you go to a LIV event?
Heck, if I wasn't playing in this, I got a group of my buddies. We were going to go up. They're still actually going.
Oh wow!
They're going to go. Saturday's a sellout, and they're going to be there Saturday. But we were going to go up. I'm really curious to kind of hear. These are guys that obviously go to the FedEx St. Jude here. So I'm curious to hear from them, like what it's.
Me too.
What the atmosphere is really going to be like up there, yeah, I mean, I've looked at potentially going to a couple of different ones, and like I said before, I mean, we were all set to go up to Nashville, and then a few of us decided to get some harebrained idea to play in a golf tournament. So, but I think I'd go and have a good time. I mean, heck, it looks like it's one big party, and
sure does.
As we continue to talk about week in, week out, I mean, that's kind of right in our wheelhouse. I mean, we're trying to create community, and that's what it sounds like LIV does, and they like to have a good time while they do it, and that's what our mantra is just come down, be yourself, hang out with people who want to, play golf and be around each other and have a good time. I mean,
yeah. In your golf shop,
Yeah.
In your golf shop, John, or any of your friends that are having shops, do you sell any of the LIV team logo stuff?
I don't. I don't. And I'll be honest, I haven't really thought about it. But, again, I mean, I'd be curious to hear, and if y'all heard it, let me know. I mean, what happened to Team Crusher's sales after Bryson wins the U.S. Open? I mean,
I'd like to know.
Have they spiked a little bit?
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Good question.
The other thing too, guys, is and Brett, this is I texted this to you Saturday, and I don't remember seeing somebody like Bryson who was so disliked 4, 5, 6 years ago, who is now turned into the darling of golf.
Kind of the anti-Phil Mickelson. Phil went the other way.
Well, and, the funny part is if you compare the two right now, Bryson truly sounds as if he wants to unite golf. Rory sounds like he wants to, but it sounds like it's just talk.
Mm-hmm. Roy doesn't know what he wants.
No.
I mean, Rory...
He's too neurotic.
Look, I get that you're obviously extremely disappointed in what happened. I'm not expecting him to go congratulate Bryson by any stretch of the imagination, but, stick around, do your little obligation, and then kind of move on from there. But to, peel your front tires on your Lexus going out of the parking lot, here's the question for you, fellas. If that's a live golfer, if it's Brooks, if it's Dustin Johnson, if it's
great question.
Sergio
if you reverse
Garcia,
everything, John, you're so right.
Are they absolutely undressing these guys for doing that? And they're kind of
Led
giving
by
Rory
me,
a bit of a
us.
pass?
Oh, yeah. So true. John, that is so right. When you just reverse the circumstances, how would you handle this? People don't like when they get that question.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, and look, I understand that Bryson was in the heat of it. It's not a similar situation as to what happened with Rory and kind of falling apart at the end of the day, and kind of, losing the golf tournament. But, still, realistically, I mean, Bryson lost to a putt on the last hole of the PGA Championship to a guy that made birdie. Now, granted, Bryson didn't make birdie, but, I mean, he lost to a guy. But he was the first guy to congratulate him, stuck around, did his press, got out of there.
So true, John. That is so right on.
Mm-hmm.
It is. John, you talk about your 6-person scramble this weekend. Tell our listeners about that. Tell about the Thursday night scramble tomorrow night and the fun they can have down at Timber Trust in Olive Branch.
Well, okay. So ironically, the 6-man's actually at Olive Branch Country Club next door. They've been doing this thing forever, and of course for those. Oh yeah. So and of course for those who aren't too familiar, in Mississippi, they've got kind of this time of year the run of 6-mans through the course of the state. I mean, Clarksdale does one.
Legendary.
Greenville, Greenwood. All the country clubs around here kind of do a 6-man. Olive Branch does one. I think Backacre still does theirs. So, it's kind of the thing to do. And actually, this will be the first time I'm playing the one at Olive Branch next door. So I'm kind of interested to see
what a win a 6-man.
How it goes.
Something in the 40s.
Yes, absolutely, something in the 40s.
Dang.
But, it's gonna be an interesting weekend. You got to. They're so serious around here and everything. You got to have a marker with you and everything else to make sure, for those who, the old saying, if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Heck yeah.
But
it's amazing how that last team that comes in on Sunday always is kind of one shot better than everybody else.
I played in an event a couple of weeks ago at our place, and I got a text message from Kelly, the lady that runs the clubhouse and everything for me. She says, okay, you guys won by 3 shots. And we're like, okay, we'll be right there. And she's like, whoops. Somebody didn't keep their score on the GPS. You lost by 2. I'm like,
yeah,
okay.
Yep, it happens.
But yeah, no. So we kind of got sidetracked there a little bit. Obviously, we got our 2-person scramble tomorrow night. Golf course is in good shape. It's been a pretty hectic week. Really happy to get some rain Monday. Happy to see that kind of come down and fill the lakes and everything back up. And we kind of got a little hot there for a second, but. Got a great weekend for golf. Should be beautiful. Be a little on the warm side, but it'll still be really, really nice. If you're looking for tee times at all for the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, we had a busy Juneteenth today. You can either visit us, timbertrustgolf.com, or call us 662-895-3530. You can obviously follow us on our social media platforms. We post all of the recap videos, all of our upcoming events, things along those lines on all of our social platforms. That's Timber Trust Golf Course on both Instagram and Facebook. Should be, again, the weather's getting to be good summer weather. Plenty going on. We're really working hard on the golf course. Everything's kind of growing in really, really nice. Been working on some irrigation stuff with sprinkler heads and, kind of dialing all that stuff in. Again, just another busy week, and we're looking forward to the next 4 days. And next thing you know, the fireworks tent's already gone up across the street from the golf course. So, as I always like to say, it's Christmas in July getting ready to come up. love, as I call it, National Blow Stuff Up Day. And, so we're getting ready for the holidays and everything else, but should be great, fellas. We'll look forward to having everybody kind of come down and visit.
First pick I have this week, I'm going to start where I started last week. I'm never passing on him. Scotty Scheffler. Darian Newsom, your first pick in the producer spot.
Taking Xander Schauffele.
All right.
Xander Schauffele. Very good. Bryant.
Let's see. I will take a man who has gone T8 or better in 4 of the last 5 Travelers Championships. I will take Brian Harman.
The reigning Open champion. John going with the healthy $26 million you've won this year. What a pick, John.
I noticed, Bryant criticized my Scheffler pick, of course, at the Masters. I didn't even get a good pick or really anything from him.
He has. He has. I promise.
Not true.
We started the show on. That must have been the part you missed.
I was testing you to see if you were listening.
I got to keep, clearly I was trying to hit a golf shot or something, I guess, at the time. So I was focused on making sure I didn't hit one fast.
You got a job. You got a golf course to run.
Absolutely. But I will take Colin Morikawa.
Okay, back around to me for Shockey. He was great to me a few weeks ago. I take the lefty, Robert McIntyre. Darian, your shot.
Tied for 13th last year at the Travelers, Ricky Fowler.
Ooh. Ricky Fowler, really good pick.
One.
Strong, Darian, strong. Bryant.
I'll go with Corey Connors.
The Canadian.
He's on a heater. He's on a heater.
Sure is.
And here's John's winning shock pick. John, you are good at these golf picks.
So, last week I was terrible because Brian's picked 3 winners. I'd only picked 1. I feel like every time you guys poke the bear a little bit, I kind of right the ship and rally.
That's
so
fair.
You really do.
My buddy we're playing with over here today said that, we're going to take the one of the possible picks off the old gravy and the sleeves on the PGA Tour radio, and we will take Ben On.
I like. Yeah. I had him on my list. Beyond you have. And, John, good luck in your tournament this weekend. Good luck with all the festivities at Timber Trust. And we sure do appreciate you, John. Thank you.
Thanks, John.
Guys, thanks so much. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the golf. We'll talk to you next week.
We will. John going down in Olive Branch, very close to where All-Star Chevrolet is located down in DeSoto County. Very, very close from the front door at Timber Trust to the front door at All-Star Chevy. First exit into Mississippi on Highway 78. You're at Kraft Goodman Road, and you're at All-Star where all the new Silverados are, where we really want to start the summer off with our great summer drive. Some mark 12% off. This is a sweet buyer's market, and you need to get in. Financing as low as 1.9, no payments for 90 days on new Trailblazers, Equinox, Silverados, and more. Nothing beats family trips in a new Tahoe. An extra $500 bonus back for college students, military, grads, first responders, teachers, healthcare workers. No matter what pre-owned you're looking for, find it at All-Star during the All-American Pre-Owned Sale. All the Ram trucks, all the Jeeps, even a Ram ProMaster cargo van and 4Runners. All at Olive Branch where you can test drive every one of those vehicles down there. Bring All-Star any vehicle you want to sell, and you get a check for that today. Everyone at All-Star and Olive Branch wants to wish everybody a happy and safe 4th. John mentioned it. With all the fireworks, be safe, be responsible, and enjoy celebrating our great country's Independence Day. Don't miss All-Star Chevy's All-American Sale in Olive Branch, or go to allstarautogroup.com.
Well, let's go ahead and get to a break. When we come back, a lot of day action in Major League Baseball today. So when we come back, we're talking baseball.
Join the voice of the Tigers, Dave Woloshin, for Wolo and Friends. Weekday mornings from 10 to 11 here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Welcome to the Rendezvous.
This is John Vergas. When my dad started the Rendezvous in 1948, I don't think anyone could have imagined we'd still be serving shoulder, cheese plates, and our world-famous dry rub ribs 75 years later. But we are still here in the basement, in an alley in downtown Memphis. We sincerely thank you for making the Rendezvous what it is today. Charlie Vergas Rendezvous, a legendary experience for over 75 years, whether you dine in, pick up, or ship across the country.
I'm Gary York. I'm the service director at Lexus in Memphis. Our service department wants to be more than just a place where you get your oil changed. We do glass repair, windshield replacement, recalibration of your camera and sonar systems, even wheel repair, tire replacement, all the things you would expect from a luxury automotive dealer. Please check out our website. You can schedule your appointment, check out our specials, hours of operation, or if you'd like to do it in person, please reach out to one of our associates at 901-271-5199.
Buster's Butcher at 199 South Highland Street in Memphis. We're a full-service butcher shop offering a curated selection of quality meats, cheeses, prepared foods, and more. At Buster's, our skilled butchers are also experienced chefs. They'll be delighted to guide you on selecting, preparing, and cooking our fine selection of products. We're like nothing else you can find in Memphis. Learn more at bustersbutcher.com and come see why every cut counts at Buster's Butcher.
Locally owned and operated for over 40 years, Automatic Gates Construction tailors custom gate solutions for all your residential, commercial, and industrial needs, including repairs, maintenance, and installation. Automatic Gates Construction specializes in designing and installing automatic gates and fencing that seamlessly blends security, functionality, and aesthetic appeal. Elevate the safety and efficiency of your property with a premium gate solution. Automatic Gates Construction at myautomaticgates.com.
Everyone loves home improvement. South Haven Supply and Warehouse 51 makes it easy. A real hardware store run by 3 generations of a real hardware family where you can get it all. Whether it's repairs, remodeling, or new building, kitchens, bathrooms, tiles, tubs, vanities, sinks, mirrors, lighting, furniture, even door hardware. All the latest designs as well as timeless classics. And if outdoor fun is on your mind, they have the Big Green Egg and Accessories. South Haven Supply and Warehouse 51, 8560 Highway 51. Easy home improvement.
I got him on the line, Jason the main man Marshall, and he's ready to rock and gossip Volkswagen on the pike.
Randy, it's vacation time, so take the road wherever it leads you with 42 miles per gallon on the highway in a brand new 2024 Volkswagen Jetta SE for only $249 a month.
That's an awesome deal at Gossip Volkswagen on the pike. And Jason, my main man Marshall, everybody in Memphis knows when it comes to a great deal, it's all about choices.
Take your pick from 2024 Tiguan S front-wheel drive or a 2024 Taos SE for only $279.28 a month, plus 0% for 60 months on all new 24 Taos. And you know my motto, make me an offer, because nothing reasonable will be refused.
Ask for Jason the main man Marshall at Gossip Volkswagen, 1875 Covington Pike, online, gossipvwmemphis.com.
Where we're charging for it and charging less every day.
Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. It's got a little bit busier on 240 southbound over here at South Parkway as that traffic increases through the Midtown area. It's finally got pretty busy at times. Now on 240 east here at Walnut Grove, Poplar. 40 still looks good at the moment as we check it out live here on 40 east from Sycamore View Road all the way out into Fayette County. 24/7 reliable crane and rigging services right here in Memphis. Make it Tomahawk Crane and Rigging. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Well, a lot of baseball to talk about today. We've got some day baseball in Major League Baseball, but also a triple header today in Omaha for the College World Series after they had some weather last night. So they went ahead before they even got to it, postponed last night's game between Kentucky and Florida. They started the day earlier at 10 a.m. And Florida all over Kentucky. In that one, they get the win. They stay alive. They'll have to play later tonight against Texas A&M, and that one will be at 6 o'clock tonight. Florida with the 15-4 win over Kentucky. Right now in Omaha, Tennessee and Florida State in action through 5 innings. Tennessee up 5-0 over Florida State. Only 2 hits right now for the Seminoles. So we talk so much. We have the questions about the pitching for this Tennessee team, but so far today against an electric offense in Florida State, they've come to play.
Brian, if they get that, I don't think anybody will be able to hold them off. Somebody might carry them to 3 games in the Saturday, Sunday, Monday deal when it gets down to 2 out of 3. But if they pitch with the hitting they can come through for, I can't see the hitting and the pitching both going quiet at the same time for them.
No, it would be it'd be hard to think that. And
Kentucky should be proud of their year.
Oh, 100%.
And Kentucky's going to be back. I'm very impressed with that coach.
Yeah, no, they had a good group this year. 46-16, their final record. Really
Got a taste
good.
of it.
Certainly did, and so I'm with you. I think they'll be back, and we could be talking about a team that's around for a lot more years here in the near future. I really liked watching them play this year.
Florida has really got the proverbial back to the wall, though.
Yeah, they sure do.
And they've got to beat A&M tonight and again tomorrow.
That's right.
If Tennessee wins, Tennessee's guaranteed a spot in the 2 out of 3, and that would guarantee an all-SEC final. Mm-hmm. And we're down to one lone ACC team.
Yeah.
If anybody talks about SEC privilege, please stop on the baseball.
Yeah,
but here's the new one I love.
Okay.
And we usually sometimes get this in football. Well, it means so much to them. Well, in the SEC.
Sure.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It just means more.
Bingo. Oh, Brad, I love it. It just means more.
And I also love that, well, they don't have anything else to do there.
Right. Yeah.
None of those SEC towns are anywhere to go eat.
Right.
Go play golf
never.
Go to a movie.
No, nothing to do there.
Nothing else to do except, it's almost like, like we're a member of a cult. In Gainesville, all there's to do is pull for the Gators. And in Tuscaloosa, all there is, roll tide. Come on, please, that garbage.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. But it has been impressive what the SEC has done this year. Just getting that many teams there,
and that's often said by people that would love to live in a lot of those places.
Of course, Brett. You know how it is. But no, we always talk about how good SEC baseball is, and you heard a lot of when Omaha was said of course they got 4 SEC teams there. You knew they were going to do that. Well, no, those teams won and earned their spot there, and now they've earned their way to these last couple of spots. And you're right, we're extremely close now to all SEC final.
I think it's a good example of you can't SEC proof it.
Yeah,
and they sure try a lot of times with the bracketing.
Definitely,
I still think State had an argument that they should have been hosting, and when very few places and very few things make the NCAA any money, why would you not have that at Dudy Noble? It's the best facility in the country.
Yeah, they one thing you can't say about them deserving or not deserving to host is that they don't have the facility to host it.
The best.
Got it. It's unbelievable.
End of argument.
That's right.
I don't think there's even a discussion for second best. It's 9 miles.
Yeah,
and that would be Arkansas, Ole Miss, LSU.
Sure. Yeah, no, I'm definitely with you. It's definitely the SEC, and then fill in after that, and it's been really impressive to watch. So we'll see what happens here with this game, and then later tonight.
I would almost like to see. It's never going to happen. And boy, after just having a great friend on and so good to us, that loves the event in Hoover, I'm going to say this. Please hope Pat Smith doesn't get back to him. If they ever moved it out of Hoover, they're not. So
right.
I wish we would go back, and we did this in the SEC. We did this early part of the 21st century in 02, 03 or so. It was on campus.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Ole Miss hosted.
Wow.
Arkansas hosted.
That'd be cool.
Others hosted.
That. Yeah.
I would like to see that, and I want to enjoy this aspect of my next suggestion. I think SEC towns should step up, and they bid on hosting football media days.
Ooh, I would like that as well. I wouldn't.
And let's see who throw the best party.
Sure, why not? And I think you would have a lot of fun, competitive, those towns battling it out, trying to battle it out against each other to host the best media days.
I like that in American Athletic Conference, that football championship game is played at the team with the best record stadium.
Oh yeah, and it makes it interesting, and it makes those conference games matter a whole lot more because you want to host them that championship game.
And we know how much fun it was the last time the Memphis Tigers hosted that game. It could be hosting again this year.
That's right. No, you're absolutely right about that.
That Friday of conference championship weekend, and Brian, I've told you, my two biggest themes to college football this year, and I'm going to say this to anybody I talk to, and I'm going to repeat it 1,000,000 times on these airwaves. There's two things I think you can take to the bank.
Okay.
Come Heisman Trophy weekend in New York City, you're going to have Jackson Dart there, and you're going to have Seth Hennigan there.
Whoa.
Both are going to be in the Big Apple.
Okay.
How about that one?
That's
the next thing.
Big.
Across the sport, from sea to shining sea, this is the year of scoreboard watching.
Definitely.
You can't just be out. You got to get locked in on your game, but you got to be locked in on that phone.
Oh, yeah.
You got to be checking those other scores. And that Friday night of championship weekend, while the AAC game, and it will be that Friday, that's Conference USA game.
Oh, gee.
Go whoever's playing Liberty.
Oh, absolutely. And I just saw today a list 1 through 134, whatever number we're at
134.
now, of the toughest schedules this year. And there's Liberty, the very last team, number 134, in terms of schedule toughness. So, I mean, it's there for them to go.
As soft as that schedule of Liberty's.
No, not at all. And that's what we went through last year.
Who can really help the Memphis Tigers is when East Carolina plays
That's
Liberty.
Right. Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's the double hit.
Certainly.
That's Yahtzee.
100%. And so that's a game where no
Boost
matter
AAC.
who Memphis is playing that day, what's happening in that game, people are going to be looking and paying attention to what's happening between Liberty and East Carolina. So you're right. That scoreboard watching is going to happen not only with conference foes, but other teams that are around you across the country.
Brian, the fan experience is better now than it's ever been.
Sure.
I'm not saying the example I'm getting ready to use. I don't want to go back to it because I like the immediacy. I like, real time keeping up with games. But Brian, in yesteryear, it was nothing better than in that kind of not lull in the game. And now scores from around the country from the public address announcer. And I mean, you're just sitting there hanging on them.
Oh, yeah.
Little did we know they were about 45 minutes old.
That's great. Well, some of my favorite memories of the Liberty Bowl is they would run the scores on the Jumbotron, and they'd go through, and you'd see a score, and everybody would erupt.
The reaction.
Yeah, the reactions are great.
And you could count on it at rivalry places.
Oh,
if you were at a Auburn game and scores from around the country.
Sure.
Late third quarter, Penn State 17, Alabama 3.
That's right.
And a cheer like it was VE Day.
That's right.
and vice versa. Everybody was the same.
Of course. No, it's gonna be a fun year. Before we get to a break, Brett. Cardinals, another loss for them today. Nolan Arenado has to leave the game with an injury.
What's the early prognosis?
I haven't seen anything yet.
Kyle Gibson was scratched early.
Was not a good day for the Cardinals.
No, lost 2 out of 3 to really just the lowly Marlins. Lucky to get the one. Could have swept. Could have got swept.
Sure.
Could have won 2 out of 3.
This series was extremely close.
Instead, lost 2 out of 3.
Exactly. And, a lot of extra innings, a lot of long games.
That's when you're just an okay team.
That's right.
And that's all they are. And maybe 5 and 6 seed wild cards are just going to be okay teams. Yeah. The Cardinals are going to have that hard self-scout examination around deadline time, and me and the fans won't like it.
Oh, yeah.
Of this isn't a go-for-it year. Let's don't do anything stupid.
Right. But they're going to have that decision. And when do you make that decision? And it's going to be interesting to kind of keep an eye on what they do.
It might even be one of those decisions that they have to make of, we might get in the playoffs, but we're still dealing away assets.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they definitely could.
You got to worry about 25 and 26
Certainly.
and 27.
Certainly, and I'm with you. Now, this is certainly not a go-for-it year, and you don't need to fool yourself into trying to sell
Not
that
even
to the
close.
fan base of, we're gonna keep everybody, and we're gonna buy a little, and this is it.
Who are they going in and taking two at the other team's stadium in that wild card round?
Nowhere. I mean, nobody.
Nobody.
Come on. Please. I mean, like you said, when you're going to extra innings in pretty much every game with the Marlins and you lose 2 out of 3, you're not a great team at that point.
It was full struggle bus at Wrigley, and the Cubs aren't very good. Same for the Cubs.
That's right. No, you're absolutely right. So, it'll be interesting to see what happens as we get closer.
I
to
hate
deadline
truth-telling
day.
time with my favorite team.
But at least you can do it. There's some people out there that can't. So St. Louis.
I'm
now,
still going to scream when they don't do anything.
Oh,
they take us for granted. They know we're
That's
going to
right.
show up at the games.
That's exactly right. But now they head down to Alabama for tomorrow night in the Rickwood game, which will be fun. Giants will do the same. They're coming off a loss today.
Go and enjoy
6-5. Yeah, it's gonna be a blast. Giants, they lost today to the Cubs, so both teams coming off a loss. Some other scores that were interesting. Phillies, they get beat 5-2 by the Padres, kind of a surprising score there. Pirates, they beat the Reds 1-0, and the Braves all over the Tigers today. Trick Skubal picks up his 3rd loss of the season as the Braves win 7-0. Still a lot of games later this evening and tonight that will be really interesting, including Garrett Cole making his season debut for the Yankees tonight against the Orioles. That will
Your
definitely be
Mariners
fun
are
to watch.
hot.
They sure are. They're playing really good baseball right now. They get the win last night over a really good Guardians team. Brian Wu, who has been dealing with injuries this year, he'll make a start today. He's been really good when he's out there against Tanner Bibby. That'll be a really fun game tonight. Kind of an early start for us, 5:40, the exact start time there.
That's
But
2 good young pitchers.
Oh, absolutely. There's some good matchups tonight when it comes to pitchers that I'm really looking
Tanner Bibby,
forward to.
born in 99.
Wow. So 25 years old.
Yeah.
That's young for sure.
It is.
Well, let's go ahead and get to a break, and when we come back, it'll be time for Big Number of the Day.
Broadcasting from the Family Leisure Studio, we are Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
Wash your house, wash your office building? Impossible! Not call Wilson's Pro Wash. Your house, fence, driveway, warehouse, store, hotel, even cars and trucks can all be squeaky clean and beautiful after pressure washing by Wilson's Pro Wash. Wilson's specializes in cleaning all hard surfaces, concrete, stone, brick, and mortar, even wood and vinyl siding. Then Wilson's can seal their surfaces so they stay looking brand new. Call Wilson's Pro Wash, 901-524-6799, or online at wilsonsprowash.com.
Hi, folks. The Chevy Sheriff in Collierville with good news for car and truck buyers. Sunrise Chevy has over 500 Chevys available with 9 models that get 30 miles per gallon. GM rebates up to $5,000, and Sunrise discounts high as $10,000. Bad credit? It's okay. You're approved at Sunrise. Immediate financing, top training, and a $3 million used car inventory specializing in cars and trucks under $20,000. Remember, you can bring your Chevy to Sunrise for service no matter where you bought it. There's always a sale at the Sunrise Chevy Ranch, 385 in Houston Levy. Together, let's drive.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control. The rising cost of materials, not to mention fuel and transportation costs. In the last 2 years, shingle prices have almost doubled, and commercial materials have doubled. And I don't have to tell you what fuel costs these days. But you know what I can control? How much markup I put on a project. I have always prided myself in knowing I never gouge a customer. But in an effort to ensure my crews have work and my customers are being treated fairly, I have lowered my profit margin, hoping to give you a price you can live with and keeping my crews busy. So if you need a roof or gutters, please give us a call. Fiveash Roofing, fair, honest, and ethical. Fiveash Roofing, a proud sponsor of Tiger Athletics and a member of the Tigers home team. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com. 367-0050 or memphisroofer.com.
Visit Frontier Western Store today for new shirts and boots. Frontier is your top Carhartt store in the Mid-South. There's thousands of in-stock shirts and jeans. They have the classic K87 pocket tee in every color they make, including new ones just released. Available small to 4X. Want new jeans? Frontier has you covered with super tough work denim by Carhartt. And you've got to check out their selection of Ariat jeans for men, women, and children. You'll love how easy it is to find the size and style you need. Have you seen Frontier's remodeled world-famous boot showroom? It continues to expand. New styles by Ariat just arrived, plus plenty of in-stock proven classics too. Whether you need work or dress boots, trust that Frontier's the place to come. See thousands of pairs of Ariat boots and thousands more by Dan Post, Corral, Durango, Rocky, Twisted X, and others. And Frontier's pricing is lower than online and chain stores, so you know just the local shop to visit. Frontier Western Store, 5880 Goodman Road in Olive Branch, and on the web at frontierwesternstore.com. Locally owned and operated since 1967.
See store for details.
It's the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event, and it's going strong at Gossett Kia on the Pike. Are you ready to ride in your new Kia with 41 MPG Highway? We Gossett! 2024 Kia Forte LXS, $199 a month, $34.99 to a signing. How about 282 miles of EPA estimated range with new 2023 Kia EV6 Win, $249 a month. And 2024 Kia Telluride LX357 a month, both $39.99 to its signing, all 24-month lease. And get peace of mind with Kia's 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Call Bobby J. He's ready to put you in your new Kia today. Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Rebates and incentives. Lease includes PF695, 650 acquisition fee, EV6 P561 0964, MSRP 50,200, Telluride RG 510 849, MSRP 38305, Forte LXS RE 780 169, MSRP 21820. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 6/30/2024 with approved credit dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Brian Davis.
Big Daddy.
Hello, Big Brand. It's a guy, he wants to be big, then he gets big, he doesn't want to be big anymore, then he gets small, but the suit's too big.
Big Daddy.
The big boy.
You're a big guy. I think she's trying to pull a fast one on Big Daddy.
The big number of the day.
All right, well, my big number today comes from Major League Baseball, and it is the number 27. This one, I saw it a couple minutes ago, and it blew my mind. So, following today's win by the Braves over the Tigers, Matt Olson now has a career team record of 27-3 when facing Detroit. So 30 games now against Detroit for Matt Olson. 27-3. The 27.
It's got to matter at some point.
It's got to.
I don't know where it was, whether it's 10-3 or 15-3 or.
I mean, it's something. It's incredible. The 27 team wins are the most ever through 30 career games against a single American League opponent. I mean, when you talk about a team's kryptonite, I mean, he is definitely the Detroit Lions, or the Detroit Lions, please, the Detroit Tigers' kryptonite. That's incredible.
That is. Well, we were very close. Mine today, could it be anything else than 24? Yeah. Like last week with 44 with Jerry West, today it's 24 for the immortal Willie Mays. When for most of my life, if you said 44, name me a player from sports, I think I would say Jerry West first.
Sure.
Probably maybe Reggie Jackson as a Yankee second.
Sure.
I know I would say Willie Mays first for 24.
Oh, yeah.
Second guy for 24, for me, would be easy.
Okay.
Keith Lee.
Oh, that's a good one.
Keith Lee wore 22 in high school. It
Sure.
was taken by Bobby Parks, so he wore 24 for the Tigers, but today the big number is 24 for Willie Mays. 93 glorious years, and he combined speed and power like we really never saw it before. We've seen it since, but he was the first. It was very distinguishing. 1951 Rookie of the Year In the National League, the American League Rookie of the Year that year was a Yankee. It was not the rookie Mickey Mantle for the Yankees. It was Gil McDonald for the Yankees that year. Willie Mays, 2-time MVP, 24-time All-Star, 660 home runs. Only hit one home run ever, though, in the World Series. And I mentioned that 73 World Series. Yogi Berra, manager of the Mets in the 73 World Series.
Whoa.
Willie Mays. Yeah. And Willie Mays he went 2 for 7. That's 286, but it was still sad to watch as he just didn't have a lot left.
Yeah. Well, but you know, good big number. Obviously, a big day.
But that catch off Vic Wirtz.
Holy cow!
That was
that one.
My favorite sports photograph.
Oh man, it is. I think a memory that everyone has seen, a moment that everybody has seen. Just incredible.
In that baseball series, Ken Burns was interviewing Monty Irvin.
Yeah.
Monty Irvin was a good right fielder and left fielder. I don't know which one he was in that day, but Monty Irvin said as soon as it was hit, he always knew Willie Mays had it if he was going back on a ball and was kind of patting his glove.
Okay.
And he said as soon as he turned and was sprinting, he was patting his glove. He said, man,
That's
I knew
crazy.
Can of corn to
That's
him.
crazy.
I knew he had it all the way. The pitcher they brought in just to face Vic Wirtz,
Right.
who got bailed out by Willie Mays.
Sure.
Greatest World Series catch ever. When he gets to the dugout, he tells the pitcher it's going in the next inning, I got my man, you go get yours.
I mean, hey,
Well,
why
you didn't
not?
do anything.
No, I mean, good Lord.
And that led to a sweep over a really good Cleveland team.
Yeah, no, you're
111 win Cleveland team that year.
Wow, that's incredible. No, I mean it's like I mentioned earlier in the show when we talked a lot about it to start the show. I mean, all these stories you're seeing,
They're just great.
and I mean even Pat Smith, that story he told us.
Well, Cat Mays.
I mean, crazy. I mean, that's just some really good stories, and I hate that we have to hear them because of the passing, but you know, it is fun to hear these stories and
The
and
pictures
see all
of him
the
playing
videos.
stickball in the streets in New York, just classic.
Yeah, no, it really cool to see. So I know we'll get a lot more of that.
And the John Fogerty song.
Yeah.
Brown-eyed handsome man.
That's right.
He was.
Yeah, so we'll definitely get more of that tonight, and then obviously tomorrow with that game we'll get a ton of tributes and stuff about the great Willie Mays tomorrow night. Well, we need to get to a break and wrap up this hour, but before we do that, let me tell you about our friends over at Bell Tavern. I know plenty of things going on, Major League Baseball, College World Series, so much to keep an eye on right now, and maybe you're looking for a place to catch a game or just maybe a night out with your friends. I've got the spot for you. It's Bell Tavern, located at 117 Barbaro Alley. Open from 4 to 11 Wednesday through Saturday and 4 to 8 on Sundays. I know nobody likes a loud bar where you can't hear yourself think, much less talk, but that's the opposite of Bell Tavern. Start the night with a gourmet burger and one of their great cocktails in a quiet, dimly lit bar that you can enjoy a game at with your friends. And it's not just the burgers. Bell Tavern has the best bar food in Memphis and the coldest beer in the city. Make sure you get over there for more information about our friends over at Bell Tavern. Give them a call, 901-249-6580, or go online to belltavern.com. Well, like I said, we need to wrap up this hour, but when we come back to start our third and final hour, we're talking NBA with Rob Fisher.
Summer's heating up, and so are the savings at Choate's. We've got 3 incredible offers to make your season spectacular. First up, our Grill and Chill with Choate's Summer Special. Upgrade your HVAC system and choose between a free Yeti cooler or a Green Egg grill on select systems. Then power through any outage with Choate's generators. Be one of the first 50 customers to buy a generator and score a massive 75-inch TV or an iPad. Also, don't forget about our tankless water heater offer. Purchase a tankless cordless water heater from Choates and receive a premium toilet free. Don't wait. These offers are too good to last. Turn to the experts with Choates and call 347-8086 or visit us online today for your free estimate. Now introducing Choates Air Conditioning, Heating, Plumbing, and Generators. Choates, let our family serve your family.
Now your ideas don't have to wait. Now they have everything they need to come to life. Dell Technologies and Intel are creating technology that loves ideas, loves expanding your business, evolving your passions. We push what technology can do. So great ideas can happen right now. Find out how to bring your ideas to life at Dell.com. Welcome to Now.
Every business faces challenges, but complicated, expensive, and uncertain shipping shouldn't be one of them.
With USPS Ground Advantage from the United States Postal Service, you can avoid all the noise.
No more unexpected surcharges, hidden fees, or complex rate structures.
It's just easy, cost-effective, and dependable shipping. Tune your business's frequency to success and turn shipping to your advantage. Learn how at USPS.com/advantage. USPS Ground Advantage. Simple, affordable, reliable.
Don't miss a second of NWSL action. Every club, every matchup. From kickoff to equalizers, every PK, every save. The best players in the world play here. Find where to watch at NWSLsoccer.com/watch. NWSL. We play here.
All 650 acquisition fee, Telluride RG 510849, MSRP 38305, Forte LXS RE 780 169, MSRP 21820. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and licensee dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 6/30/2024 with approved credit dealer stock only.
Hey Jeff, I hear you've got the Kia Summer Sticker Sales event going on right now at Gossett Kia South on Mount Moriah. Give me some scoop.
Randy, the scoop is I'm ready to put you in a new Kia for less. 2024 Kia Forte LXS 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. How about a 2024 Kia Telluride LX 357 a month, $39.99 due at signing, 24-month lease.
Plus 0% for 48 months on 2024 EV9. And every Gossett Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia South on Mount Moriah.
Gossett Kia South, 2680 Mount Moriah, or online anytime. KiaMountMoriah.com.
Jason's Deli. When you're dining in or picking up curbside, you can expect wholesome food and no surprises. Just
Darian's golf picks are great.
quality meals made with the freshest ingredients and no artificial trans fats, MSG, high fructose corn syrup, or artificial colors and dyes. Around here, a lot of thought goes into what we put into our food and what we take out of it. Because you're not just taking the bite, you're getting a taste of who we are. New items are constantly being created to expand our menu for all tastes and special diets, vegan and gluten-free options available, convenience, and on-time delivery you can count on. It's just a click away at jasonsdeli.com. So whether you need to feed 5 people or 5,000, the team at Jason's Deli, they have the credentials and the commitment to keep you satisfied. Freshness is nearby at Jason's Deli with locations at Ridgeway in the Park Place Center, Poplar Highland, Germantown Road in Cordova, and Goodman Road in Olive Branch. Jason's Deli. It's wholesome food and no surprises. Sports 56 traffic.
Good afternoon. A couple of EMS calls in the last 15-20 minutes. Now, it's building right on schedule over here on 240 East, trying to work your way past Poplar up to Walnut Grove as that traffic increases out of the Midtown area. Still looks good right now. I-40 over here at Chelsea as it increases also down through Midtown on 240 South, passing South Parkway. 55 still decent at the moment down through South Haven. Weimer's Jewelry, located 7525 Highway 64, is your full-service family-owned jewelry store right here in the Memphis area. Go by and see them. I'm Commander Chuck with your on-time traffic.
Sports Time on Sports 56 98.5 FM. Here once again
Welcome back into Sports Time. Bryant and Brett with you in our Family Leisure Studios, and joining us now to talk some NBA, Rob Fisher from Grind City Medias and all of the Grizzlies television broadcasts. He joins us now. Rob, thanks so much for joining us. The NBA Finals are complete. The Boston Celtics are the champions. What did you make of what they did throughout the entire season, but most notably what they did in the playoffs and then defeating the Mavericks in the finals?
Well, I think they showed they're the best team. And they were the best team all year. I mean, it's pretty amazing to just have a team go through the postseason 16-3 is remarkable, including just one loss in the NBA Finals. 3 series where they lost just one game. And 2 of those, you could say, were they just kind of coasted and lost. And then in the NBA Finals, I think it was a human nature type of game that they lost. So, they weren't beat. They weren't beat. And for them to come out and, their other guys were terrific. It reminded me a lot of Denver last year, where by the end of the playoffs, you knew who their 6th, 7th, and 8th guys were. You knew them by name because they did it for Boston. And they made the plays, and they got all the hustle plays. They got so many rebounds. I mean, in Game 5, just the number of rebounds that they collected, offensive rebounds, and not allowing Dallas to get second chance opportunities and giving themselves second, third, and fourth chances, and then able to knock down shots. And we know that they were a team that can knock down threes, and they did. So they did everything. Stats you mentioned last week, if you're looking for a guy who is going to be the MVP of the series, and you mentioned Drew Holiday, and, I said Jaylen Brown. It turned out to be Jaylen Brown, but Jason Tatum certainly could have gotten it as well. Early in the series, it could have been Porzingis if he played the whole series. So I think to see them, have 4 guys who could have been in the argument for MVP of the postseason shows a lot about what they were able to do.
And they got contributions from kind of the supporting cast, Hauser, from a lot of different guys. Rob, that loss last Friday night, I was surprised about it. I thought they had the brooms out. But us NBA insiders, you know what we call that loss? We call that a schedule loss.
Schedule loss. We always talk about it being human nature. Just these guys they're human beings, and you're up 3-0 in a series and cruising, and you're 1 win away from the NBA title. It's natural to kind of take your foot off the gas. And I think they did. And Dallas played with great desperation in Game 4. You got to give them credit because they came out and they didn't lay down. They didn't just, say, hey, we're done and let's just pack our bags and go play golf. They came out and played with desperation, and it was a pretty impressive performance from them. And it was not an impressive performance from Boston, but, I think you take that and you move on, and then Boston comes out and plays with the desperation they did in Game 5. Having a 3-1 lead. And, what they did at the end of that first quarter really ended that game.
It was over.
It was early over. The big run at the end of the first. And Dallas was just never able to catch up.
Yeah. Rob, we didn't. You didn't. Neither one of us did. But some did nationally. Why did so many freak out when Boston would lose a game? That you say they only lost 3. And with all 3, there was some freak out.
Absolutely, there was some freak out. When they lost to the Heat, and then they lost, who was the second series? Milwaukee.
Mm-hmm.
When they lost that first game, you wonder if they're going to be able to actually win the series. And I think a lot of that has to do with the fact that they had struggled in the past. Past history showed that Boston just kind of, like I said, took their foot off the gas and came back to bite them. And maybe underperforming the last couple of years on what they should have done in the postseason. And then there's that question that had been looming over everybody's head about, can Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown actually play together? And then the question of, is Joe Mazzulla actually a good coach? All those things, I think we discussed at the end of last year. And when they would lose a game, you'd kind of wonder, oh no, here we go again with the Celtics, but that certainly wasn't the case. You know, even in those games they won, they had leads that they just blew. But to go 16-3 can't be underestimated. I mean, that's an impressive finals run. I know people say it's the easiest finals run. I think that just takes credit away from what Boston did. I think they deserve the credit for going 16-3. And those questions that were looming after last year, I think they've been answered. Can Brown and Tatum play together? Well, of course they can.
Yeah.
Is Joe Mazzulla a good coach? Well, I guess he is now. You know, his past kind of reminds me of Budenholzer. Hot seat, hot seat, hot seat, win a title. And now he's got to come back and do it again next year.
Yeah.
Or he could be in trouble. So it's funny. It's funny the conversations that we have, and it's funny how things play out. And Boston, I think, silenced all those critics.
Yeah, it feels like it. On the other side for Dallas, I mean, coming in, getting to the finals as a 5 seed, it really felt like throughout the playoffs, before they got to the finals, they were clicking on all cylinders. Where do they go from here? Do you think they can get back to the NBA Finals, get back to this point in the next 5 years or so?
Well, I think when you look at what they've done the last 2 years, getting to the conference semifinals, or getting to the conference finals last year, and then getting to the NBA Finals this year, you would think you can just run it back. Especially considering that they became a better team after the trade deadline this year. So I would think you feel comfortable running it back. You know, what do they need? I don't know. Not to face Boston would help, because I think Boston really just showed, well, I don't want to say showed their weaknesses. I think their strengths really came through in series prior to the Celtics, and their strengths, however, fed right into the Celtics' hands. You know, clogging the paint, and doing a good job of rebounding, and not letting guys, forcing teams to shoot 3-pointers. Well, hell, that's what Boston does. So it didn't work in the finals. But to get to this point, you think you should be able to just run it back, and hopefully there's a little more progression. I think you need Luka to become a better defender. I think you need Luka to be healthy come postseason time. I mean, he looks on the court like he's about to pass out and die every time that he's on the floor during the NBA Finals. So,
what about being in better shape?
That would help. It would help all around as far as him being, in healthier for the finals, and also it would help him become a better defensive player because he'd be able to move a little bit better. Boston really exploited that. So maybe they need a little bit more defense. And what they really need, though, and the thing that concerns me about Dallas running it back, can we go another drama-free year from Kyrie?
That's fair. I mean, that's fair to ask. Show us.
I mean, he was great this year.
He was.
And he was great during the playoffs. He wasn't very good during the finals. But hey, he had a couple of bad games. I'm not going to hold that against him. He'd be the first to tell you he didn't play well enough during the finals.
That parquet can get to you.
Yeah, they needed magical Luka and magical Kyrie to win this series, or to even have a chance in this series, and they didn't get it. But can Kyrie go a full year without drama again? And I think that's a fair question. When things don't start not go his way, how are things going to go? But he seems to fit in great. He seems that he's grown up a little bit. And we'll see. We'll see if he can do that. But they got to feel good about where they're at, because after the trade deadline, making the moves that they did, being fifth in the Western Conference this year, it's not like you were that far away from being at the top. And who's to say that they can't improve on what they did this year and even get a better seed and not have to play on the road to start every series? And that's taxing and can wear on you, and I think it showed by the end of the playoffs.
You want a big screaming June 19th hot take on the NBA for next year?
Yes.
We're on a 50-week collision course for Denver and Boston to sort out these last 2 years. There's your finals next June.
I don't think that's crazy by any stretch of the imagination. I think Denver could get back. I think Boston certainly could get back. And I'd like to see those two teams play. I think it would have been a different series if Denver played Boston this year. I think it would have been a different series. I think it was just a bad matchup for Dallas, and that's why the series went so short. I don't think it would have gone that short with Denver. I think that would have been a better series. And
I thought you were really close to saying. I thought you were really close, Rob, to saying you've heard crazier from me, like the year of John L. Smith at Arkansas, me having Arkansas in the national championship game.
Yeah, I've tried to forget that one.
I have too.
Oh,
I've got a friend of mine that won't let me.
Good friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that wouldn't surprise me though. I mean, Denver's loaded and they got the best player in the league.
Yeah.
So, I think they'd have a great chance against Boston. But it wasn't meant to be this year as Denver got knocked out in the postseason. So,
Man, I went Tony Vitello a week ago on these airways
You
with
sure
you.
did, yeah.
You did, although I'm starting to like that a little bit more today
Warming up to it, aren't you?
after this Miami series loss, which is dreadful
Oh,
for the
wasn't
Cardinals.
it? In front of nobody.
In front of nobody, yeah. It's a pretty neat ballpark, though. I went there for the World Baseball Classic.
Nice.
And, yeah, it's interesting. It feels like you're in a mall. There's a lot of artwork throughout the stadium, and
You know the look I just got on my face is the great Alonzo Mourning meme when he kind of sits back on the bench and goes. That was the look I just gave Brian.
Yeah, that's about right.
Yeah, it's an interesting little stadium. I liked being there. I enjoyed it.
Is there any plaque, a memento designation that was the site of the old Orange Bowl Stadium?
Not that I'm aware of.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know if there is. I never saw it.
I think
there's
it is.
There's the big ugly fountain out front that used to be in the outfield.
Oh, it's out front now?
Oh, good, Brighton. I wrote it off yesterday as being gone.
No, we still got it. It's out in front of the stadium.
That's great.
What about the tank, the fish tank?
Wow.
Fish tank's gone.
Fish tank's gone. What would we do with the
tank is
fish?
Good question.
Hope we didn't sacrifice the fish.
No, probably not. Probably did what we did with the beekeeper in Arizona. Took them to a safe place.
Beekeeper was great, wasn't he?
Yeah.
What a
Although,
night.
I don't know. If you got a chance to get rid of 1,000 bees, I think you go for it. But apparently they took them to a safe place.
Guy sitting at home minding his own business and gets the call and then he ends up throwing out the first pitch.
How about that?
You don't think he's there on property as a staff member of the organization's bee guy that has his own office just in case?
Might be now.
Does Pugs have a bee guy in the organization with the Grizzlies at FedEx Forum?
I don't
Ask
think
him that.
so.
Text him that. He'll love
Hey,
that.
do we have a bee guy on staff? Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
And then he's going to ask, has Brett started drinking again?
Jeez. Talking to Rob Fisher. He joins us every week to talk the NBA. And big time news out of the NBA this morning. The Pistons fire Monty Williams. They'll now have to owe him $65 million. What did you make of that news this morning?
Good for Monty.
That's right.
How about being hired as a general manager and having that pull to be able to just waste $65 million?
It's crazy.
Isn't that Trajan Langdon?
Yeah. Trajan Langdon, what's your first move? Well, I'd like to get rid of the guy that you're paying $65 million to.
That's insane.
Well, you better make it count.
Man, you better make the right hire. I mean, if you're firing Monty Williams, can you come back and say, all right, James Borrego's the guy?
No. No chance.
Can you come back and say, oh, I don't know, who else we got on everybody's list?
What
Sam
if you came back?
Cassell's the
What if
guy.
you came back with this? My college coach wants it.
Well, I don't know. I don't think
Radio
that'd be a very-
silence.
Yeah.
That was radio silence.
That's Mike Krzyzewski.
Yeah. No, I don't.
That's not happening.
No.
No, it's not happening. But I mean, you look at the names that are out there.
I swear,
the names
it's just
that
Coca-Cola,
keep it-
Rob. I promise you, it's just Coca-Cola. It's all I'm consuming.
You look at the names that are out there, though, and guys who have been interviewing for jobs, and the likely suspects, and it's like, okay, I mean, are any of them better than Monty Williams? I mean, what's the point of the organization moving forward with a new coach unless you're confident this new coach is better than what you had?
Do you call Jay Wright? And I'm serious about that. Do you call Jay Wright?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think call anybody.
I mean, what? I mean, that at least would be, a different direction.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Young team that he could have.
These other guys, I wonder. Well, what do they got that? JB Bickerstaff's available. Is JB? I mean, hiring JB, is that like, oh yeah, you replace Monty with JB? I don't know who the guy is that you'd be satisfied with. Jay Wright's an interesting one. Why not?
That younger team, he could have some identity with that.
Yeah, and at least, like I said, that's at least a different direction. That's at least, that's a name.
All right, Rob. Let's go to the mall in Boston. Are you ready?
Oh, jeez.
On one end of the mall is Jason Tatum.
Yeah.
In fact, on one end of the mall is the entire 2023-24 NBA World Champion Boston Celtics. On the other end of the mall is Adam Vinatieri, who gets the bigger crowd.
I'm going with the Celtics.
Wow.
Come on, he's a kicker.
He's a great kicker, though, Rob.
But his kicks.
Hall of Famer.
That low line drive 2-iron that started the dynastic run, that was as big a thing in the tuck game as anything.
I don't know. I mean, when I think of Boston, and when I've been to Boston, you see Celtics stuff everywhere. You don't really see Patriots stuff, or people dressed in Patriots gear as much as you do Celtics. I think in this case the Celtics are bigger than the Patriots. So when we're at the mall, even if it's the Boston Celtics team right now or Tom Brady at the other end, I think I'd still go with the Boston Celtics.
Wow. Interesting.
Really?
Yeah,
I think so.
Wow.
Like Dallas is with the Cowboys, and we always have that question with the Cowboys. I think the Celtics probably reign supreme in Boston as well.
Brady got 60,000 out at retirement ceremony night on a night that Boston's playing in Dallas the same night. Now, they were out of town.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's TB12 you just talked about, Rob.
Handed out the UFL trophy, Rob. I mean, good Lord.
He did hand out the UFL trophy in St. Louis.
It was a stirring moment, wasn't it?
It was.
All right, Rob, I texted you this.
I watched that UFL game.
Rob, I bet on it. Oh, right there. I love it.
Did you win cash?
Yeah. I did cash, yeah.
Birmingham.
Yeah, on our odds couple show, we gave the Stallions out as one of the locks of the week.
There you go.
So, so I cashed in on my Stallions.
All right, Rob, you're MC at a big baseball swanky dinner in Memphis, and it's your job to introduce this person. And in the introduction, baseball's greatest living player. Who would that be now with the passing of the great Willie Mays?
Well, it would receive a lot of controversy because I think the greatest living player, and to me, the greatest player I've ever seen in my lifetime is Barry Bonds.
We threw that one out.
Yeah.
I thought you might say Pete Rose, your old workmate.
That would certainly be controversial as well.
Yeah.
You got a lot of controversial old workmates. Brett, Pete Rose.
That's right. 2 peas in a pod.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pete's interesting, but I don't know. Bonds is the best all-around guy that I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So I'd probably lean towards him. And I know a lot of people would poo-poo that idea because of steroids, but he was the best I ever saw.
He was giving it as good as he was getting it with the steroids.
Yeah, it's interesting how much, listening to stuff on Willie Mays the last couple of days, and you hear, about his great defense and his great speed and his great power, and Bonds had all that.
But best defensive left fielder ever. Lou Brock would be close, but Bonds is ahead.
Yeah, and had the speed. I mean, he had the stolen bases. He hit for the power. He's got more home runs than anybody in the history of the game. I mean, I'd say Barry Bonds. Yeah, I'll stick with Bonds.
I couldn't argue that. I think that much of him too, and I know, as you said, just mentioning his name, and it sends people, just so angry. I think some of it is faux anger. They think they have to react like that.
Sure, because it's hey, let's open up the phone lines.
Right. On a holiday weekend.
In the Hall of Fame. Yeah, absolutely. And the next segment, we're asking if P. Rose should be in the Hall of Fame.
That's right.
So, people want to have the controversy and talk about it, and then we'll wrap up the hour with should Caitlin Clark be in the Hall of Fame. So it'll be good. It'll be a good hour.
And every foul owner a war crime.
That's right. Jeez. Rob, don't look now, but our Oilers still alive.
They are still alive. A big game last night. That was impressive. I mean,
the Oilers.
Just the way
We're all Oilers, aren't we? That's my team.
I'm sorry, Brett.
I want Canada to get a trophy since '93. I've always been for the Oilers this whole series.
What about your Panthers?
Yeah, your Panthers.
No, the Carolina Panthers, not Florida Panthers.
I see.
I like Bryce Young.
That's right.
Y'all got that all
Bryce
wrong.
Young. Huh.
No,
Shame on
it was impressive 2 games from the Oilers. And the thing is, their stars are starting to be stars, and they
Panthers
weren't in the first 3 games.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's still a long way to go. I mean, they're dragging their ass back up to Edmonton, Alberta.
Dang right.
And, that's a long flight to drag them cats. But, I mean, Edmonton, it's certainly the pressure's on Florida now, but, Edmonton can't stop playing with the desperation that they're playing. And it's got to continue. And McDavid and Draisaitl got to be stars. And, last night, even with a 4-2 lead, or 4-3 lead, it felt a little scary for Edmonton because things can go so quickly the other way. But I would like to see Edmonton tomorrow night score first, and that would go a long way, I think. And keep going top shelf on Bobrovsky, and you got a shot to win. So, and if it goes to a game 7, throw out the records, throw out everything, throw out winning 3 games in a
Drop
row.
the
It's a game
gloves.
7.
Right. Goalies
That's right.
fight
So,
everything.
I hope we get to that point, and I'm glad Edmonton's kept it going, and I hope they get the chance for a game 7.
Yeah.
Let me know what Pugs' answer is on the big guy, okay?
Yeah, keep us posted.
I'll see.
Full draft breakdown next week from you, and then we'll leave
That's
you alone
right.
until Dallas.
I should know a little bit about the draft next week because I'm hosting over
Clock will
at
be
Southland.
ticking.
We got a big show.
Yeah.
There you go. See
And
you later.
we'll be over there broadcasting at Southland Greyhound Park, or it's not Greyhound Park anymore, it's just Southland. So come on over to Southland. We'll be in the casino doing shows from 7 to 10, Grind City Media, and talking draft and carrying the draft and breaking down what the Grizzlies do in the draft. So I guess
That'd
I
be
should
fun.
know a little bit.
It'll be fun.
That will
Yeah,
be
it
fun.
will be.
Yeah. Rob, as always, thanks so much for joining us. We'll talk to you again next week.
Gentlemen, always a pleasure.
Thank you, Rob. Rob Fisher with us from Grind City Media and the Grizzlies TV and on all things NBA, and we cover a lot of ground with him. I love the mall question. You think they have a mall still in Boston?
Oh, I'm sure they've got a mall in Boston. Every big city's got to have a mall.
Got to have a mall somewhere.
Let's
out there,
see.
don't
Boston Mall. Oh, yeah. Well,
There's malls everywhere.
Well,
Malls are dying, though, aren't they?
yeah, they might not have a mall. I don't know. They've got a center, but I think this is more of like an outdoor shopping center.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I was surprised with the answer on the Celtics.
I was too. I was very surprised.
Ask a question, get an answer, though. That's
Hey,
what I
that's
wanted.
why you ask them.
Let's head to All-Star Chevrolet. First exit into Mississippi on Highway 78. You're at Kraft Goodman Road. And together, let's drive into summer. And you have to get something you really want to drive, and you can get that at All-Star. with all the Silverados. Some mark 12% off invoice. It's a sweet buyer's market at All-Star. You can test drive all these vehicles like the Jeeps, the Ram trucks, the Ram ProMaster, the cargo van, and the 4Runners. And an extra $500 bonus on everything, anything, any vehicle down there for college students, grads, military, first responders, teachers, and healthcare workers. Financing as low as 1.9 and no payments for 90 days on new Trailblazers, Equinox, Silverados, and so much more. Nothing beats a family trip in a new Tahoe. Start that big family summer vacation trip. Start it the right way at All-Star. All the Jeeps and all the Ram trucks right there in Olive Branch. Bring any All-Star, bring any vehicle to All-Star you want to sell, and you can get a check today. Everyone at All-Star looking forward to the holiday like we all are, celebrating Independence Day on the 4th of July, and All-Star wishes everyone a very happy and safe 4th of July celebration. Don't miss out on All-Star Chevy's All-American sale right now in Olive Branch, or go to allstarautogroup.com for more information.
Brett, I don't know if this was already planned before, but we're starting to get some stuff from this celebrity softball game they're having tonight at Rickwood, and I don't know if all the players are wearing it, but I'm seeing a picture of Dexter Fowler, and he is wearing a jersey, and on the front of it says "Say Hey." So I don't know if that was already planned beforehand or if it was kind of a quick change after, but definitely already a good start to the festivities tonight.
It is, and it's going to be fun tonight. Building to tomorrow night, and truly the sporting eyes of the sporting world on Birmingham and Rickwood, and even more now with the passing of Willie Mays.
Yeah, it will be a good time for sure. But let's go ahead and get to a break. When we come back, we'll talk about what's trending.
Season. It is. Or as I like to call it, Free Central Barbecue Month. What? Well, not that I don't enjoy weddings, I do, especially the ones that I can tell are going to be a disaster. But what I love about weddings is that so many people choose Central Barbecue to cater the food at the reception.
You root for marriages to fail?
Not exactly root. I just enjoy drama and free barbecue. I like to sit there and enjoy my plate of Central Barbecue with beans and slaw and wait for things to blow up.
At the reception?
Ideally. I mean, I won't be around to see it otherwise. Plus, Free Central Barbecue.
It's the Kia Summer Sticker Sales Event, and it's going strong at Gossett Kia on the Pike. Are you ready to ride in your new Kia with 41 MPG Highway? We Gossett! 2024 Kia Forte LXS, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. How about 282 miles of EPA estimated range with new 2023 Kia EV6 Win, $249 a month. And 2024 Kia Telluride LX3, $57 a month, both $39.99 due at signing, all 24-month lease. And get peace of mind with Kia's 10-year 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. Call Bobby J. He's ready to put you in your new Kia today. Gossett Kia, 1900 Covington Pike, online, KiaCovingtonPike.com.
If you want it, we got it at Gossett Motor Cars.
Rebates and incentives. Lease includes PF 695, 650 acquisition fee, EV6 P561 0964, MSRP 50,200, Telluride RG 510 849, MSRP 38305, Forte LXS RE 78169, MSRP 21820. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax title and license. See dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 6/30/2024 with approved credit, dealer stock only.
Hulu is coming in hot this month with new shows, new movies, and all new seasons of your faves. FX's Clip, the story of one NBA team's racial reckoning starring Lawrence Fishburne. Stream a new season of Short, the underdog hockey team that might just knock your teeth out. Catch the high-speed drama Ferrari starring Adam Driver and Cruz. Get your streaming into high gear this month with so much new stuff to watch on Hulu.
Getting engaged is one of life's most spectacular occasions. And when you find your ring at Sissy's Log Cabin, the promise of a lifetime begins with our promise to always provide unmatched quality, superior service, and brilliant natural diamonds. Find your dream engagement ring, wedding bands, and more when you shop Sissy'sLogCabin.com or stop by one of our 6 locations. Begin the rest of your line in brilliant, only at Sissy's Log Cabin, because life's too short for ordinary jewelry.
All 650 acquisition fee. Telluride RG 510849, MSRP 38305. Forte LXS RE 780 169, MSRP 21820. Includes all rebates and incentives. Must finance through Hyundai. Excludes tax, title, and licensee dealer for complete details. Offer valid through 6/30/2024 with approved credit dealer stock only. Hey Jeff, I hear you've got the Kia Summer Sticker Sales event going on right now at Gossett Kia South on Mount Moriah. Give me some scoop.
Randy, the scoop is I'm ready to put you in a new Kia for less. 2024 Kia Forte LXS 41 MPG Highway, $199 a month, $34.99 due at signing. How about a 2024 Kia Telluride LX 357 a month, $39.99 due at signing, 24-month lease.
Plus 0% for 48 months on 2024 EV9. And every Gossett Kia comes with a 10-year, 100,000-mile powertrain limited warranty.
So whether you live in Horn Lake, South Haven, Olive Branch, or Memphis, you'll be happy at Gossett Kia South on Mount Moriah.
Gossett Kia South, 2680 Mount Moriah, or online anytime. KiaMountMoriah.com.
Keep it twisted all year long with Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Twisted Tea is real iced tea that packs a punch with 5% alcohol. Tastes great at the beach, the mountains, or even in the backyard. Look for the bright yellow Twisted Tea flavors. Responsibly.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Brian Davis.
Welcome back into Sports Time. Brian Brett with you as we got less than 30 minutes left in today's show. We got to talk about what's trending. We've talked about a lot of different things today, but I want to talk some college basketball here with not much time left. And I know we have another bracketology out. Our guy Joey Brackets dropped that. I want to get to that in a second, but I just saw within the last hour or so, maybe a couple hours, Ross Dellinger over at Yahoo Sports has published a story titled Sources, NCAA Presents New Basketball Tournament Models That Would Expand Field by 4 or 8 teams. In the story, Ross Dellinger talks about how NCAA officials presented 2 separate models for an expanded NCAA men's basketball tournament, one with an additional 4 teams, another with an additional 8 teams, with the fields expanding to 72 or 76 teams. So it sounds like...
For what year?
Let's see. I don't know.
Would it be for next spring, 2025?
That is a good question.
Well, if it's 4, that's Mark Wise is suggesting kind of the second Dayton.
Sure. No, it absolutely is. So this, at the earliest, would begin in the 2025-26 season.
So 2 tournaments from now.
Right. Yeah. So we'll see.
I don't think there's any stopping them. I mean, it's going to happen. I can get mad, and everybody can get mad about the brackets, but I think it will probably start with 4, and then eventually get to the 76 number.
Yeah, no, I think you're right. I'm not a fan of it, but I think you're right. I think there's no stopping it.
What would that do to bracket mania? It really wouldn't affect it, would it?
No, it wouldn't affect it at all.
So we'd have Tuesday night in Dayton, Wednesday night in Albuquerque, as we've suggested.
Yeah.
And where did Mark Wise suggest he had another kind of a basketball place?
What was his?
What was his?
I don't remember.
It was good too.
It was good.
Was it the place, the Pentagon in South Dakota?
It might have been.
Might have been.
I don't remember off the top of my
head. But wherever they
Sure.
did it, so you'd have one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday, with the team that played on Tuesday not playing until would play Thursday, and the one that advanced out of Wednesday would play in Friday games. I would assume, probably. I don't think that's freak out over.
No, I don't think it's freak out over. And I think people would be fine with it, and certainly when we get there and we're talking about more basketball, I think everybody would be fine with it. But just looking at it,
would that be the final nail in the NIT?
Yeah, it feels
time.
like it. Yeah, probably.
Pull the plug.
Yeah, that would definitely be it. I mean, if you're taking 4 more, I mean, good Lord, even 8 more teams, I think that would definitely be the end of the NIT. Which would,
you had teams this year turning down the NIT that,
sure,
in a lot of years they would would be groveling to
Oh,
get
yeah.
NIT.
Oh, absolutely. So I'm trying to find,
including Memphis and Ole Miss.
Sure, no, 100%. And so yeah, it looks like that's going to happen. Now one step closer with them presenting that, and we'll see where it goes from here. But you look at the teams last year that were those first 4 teams out, and I don't know how many of them that people were saying, oh, man, that team.
Indiana State
was the one. Outside of that, there was no argument. I don't think from anybody. Indiana State, there was good argument. I was the one that argued. I thought Indiana State was robbed. I think they should have been in the tournament. But outside of that, who are you going to argue? Oklahoma? Well, was anybody really throwing out real arguments that Oklahoma should be in the tournament? I mean, there's never that case. You can make it that day. It's fun to do the day after the bracket's revealed. But after that, you kind of come to your senses and go, oh, that team didn't deserve it.
And if you don't get in the tournament, then you really had a poor year.
Oh, yeah.
I think you're already at that.
Sure.
But that would just highlight it. And then if it goes to 76, I mean that's the Coaches Protection Act.
Oh, certainly.
Oh, I got in the tournament.
Exactly.
Yeah, you did nothing though.
You're 500 and got in the tournament. I mean, give me a break.
I don't want that.
No, I don't want that either. But
Josh Pastner's 96 team tournament, it's made for him.
No, certainly. But man, I didn't like seeing that today, but it's coming, and I think we've been warned.
I'm doing my bracket now, according to Joey.
Please.
Joey brackets. Do you have your bracket done?
I you know what? I'm just a little behind on
10
on
SEC
Joey
teams. Does that grab you? Is that jarring?
10 SEC.
Remember, that's out of 16.
Sounds like the baseball tournament.
It does.
I wonder how many. I don't know off the top of my head how many they got last year. But that sounds about right.
It does.
That doesn't sound anything crazy.
Memphis in the tournament is the automatic. Somebody need to tell Joey that Memphis has never won the round robin, the league schedule.
Well, yeah,
won the tournament once.
That's true. But hey, he's got faith that we've said
been
it.
2 seed twice. Is that right? In the AAC in penny years.
Has it been 2 or 3 times?
Might be 3.
2 or 3. One of the two of those. But hey, Joe Lunardi has faith in the Tigers.
6 COVID year, but that was the year they really going to make the push.
Everybody.
That was the year they really going to get hot.
That was everybody. Everybody was going to make that push.
When we don't have games to
and
prove
everybody's
going to
win the championship. Yes, exactly right. That number. What'd you say? 10 for the SEC?
10.
That's kind of surprising because I'm looking right now, and 2 SEC teams on the first 4 out. So that's.
Boy, that leaves you in a small group.
Yeah, that's 12 right there
SEC,
in the mix.
9 Big 10, 9 Big 12, 7 ACC, 6 Big East, 2 West Coast Conference.
That's crazy. He has Memphis playing Miami, right? Yeah, Miami in the 8-9 game. Oh, Memphis in the 8-9 game. I mean, it is
against old whistling Jim Larinaga.
That's right. And if you
winner against Kansas in Wichita.
Oh man, and then winner of that could get Cal and the Razorbacks.
Sure could.
How about that? Now it would involve Cal winning a first round game, but
can't do it at Kentucky playing those 34-year-olds.
That's right. Yes, they get older every time, bro. Every
do.
time you bring them up, they get older. I want to look through. Okay, so Arkansas, Mississippi State, Auburn, Florida, Texas. Kentucky, Alabama, Texas A&M,
Tennessee and Ole Miss.
That checks out. I mean, that gets it done.
Ole Miss, a 7 seed in Raleigh, playing Rutgers. Get a win, get Duke in Raleigh.
Duke in Raleigh with Cooper Flag. Yeah. That's fun. That's almost like
a 3-pair underwear trip.
That's right. Yes. No, that's not fun at all. He still has UConn as a number 1 seed, and obviously bringing everything they've got back, I think. But I've heard a lot of people saying maybe UConn doesn't slip very far, but with everything they lost from last year's team, lost most of your starting lineup, that maybe they'd be a 2 or 3 seed. Joey Brackett says you got to show me that until I move you off the 1 seed when you've won back-to-back championships.
Bryant, using the UConn model,
okay,
if we replayed the entire NBA postseason, would Boston win it again?
Oh, man.
Would they? Because we said if we could play the NCAA tournament
Sure.
100 times the last 2 years, and UConn was winning both of them.
Yeah, you're definitely right about that. Here's my question. I think I know the answer, but I want to make sure. If we play it over again, do the same injuries happen that happened this time?
No.
Okay.
Everybody hail and hearty.
Oh man. I'm gonna say yeah. I'm gonna say they still win it.
I do too.
I think it's close, but I think they still win it. I mean,
because as Rob said, 3 losses.
Yes, 3 losses in the playoffs, and what I've been saying, they won the conference by 14.5 games. I mean, this team had been dominant all year long. I think not we because we didn't do it, but you see a lot of people in the national media that almost forgot about that with 2 losses before the finals, and oh man, this Boston Celtics team, and they're only playing teams that are injured. Well, they beat those same teams while they were fully healthy during the regular season. So yeah, I think they would have still won it if we play it back. But
I tell you another team Joey Brackett likes.
Okay,
loves him some Gonzaga.
He does love Gonzaga, which I love Gonzaga as well. Mm-hmm. So I can't blame him there. Where does he have Gonzaga?
2 seed, starting in Seattle.
Does it get any better? I mean, Duke and Raleigh or Gonzaga and Seattle. Which
Pitino would beat few in a second-round game. They'd get the winner of St. John's.
Oh, that'd be an unbelievable. I would love that. I mean, sign me up today for that matchup. I would love that. Nothing would make me happier. Baylor, a 3 seed. That makes sense.
Kentucky, USC would be Mark Pope against Eric Musselman.
That'd be fun. That'd be a good matchup. I like these matchups.
Winner would get Baylor and Scott Drew.
Yeah, that would be cool. Oh, look at this Milwaukee pod. UCLA versus Grand Canyon, Texas versus Arkansas State. That'd be a fun pair of games. I'd enjoy those games a lot. And we talked a lot about Arkansas State. We really like their new head coach, what they're
selection
doing.
Sunday?
A whole lot, Brett. A whole lot. No, don't start buying up your tickets
40?
Yet.
Close
to it. So yeah, it's a long time from now. Ole Miss fans, don't start buying your tickets to Raleigh just yet.
Yeah, don't book hotel rooms.
No, not yet, at least. But
I
it's fun
didn't
to
snag those rooms in Winston-Salem for football.
You do.
Did you hear Terry Gannon explaining on U.S. Open coverage the difference for people of the city of Wake Forest and the campus is located in Winston-Salem?
Did he really?
He sure did.
And what did we get from it? Did we get anything from it?
That was it.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
He was kind of explaining the proximity of where the golf course is. And
interesting.
Et cetera.
Well, I mean, heck,
and he knows the state well.
Of course.
Playing at NC State.
Before last week, I didn't even know. I knew Wake Forest wasn't
either.
Wake Forest, North Carolina, but I didn't know there was a Wake Forest, North Carolina.
I put in the drive time from Far City to Wake Forest.
Wrong Wake Forest.
Wrong town.
How about that? Well, at least you figured it out before trying to get there, I guess.
They got a seat on that charter. I think I'm getting on it. It's too far.
I think that's a smart idea. Well, let's go ahead and get to our final break of the day. When we come back, we'll wrap up today's show with Taco Bell Crunch Time.
Start your day with Sports 56 Mornings with Greg Gaston and Eli Savoy. Weekday mornings from 7 to 10, right here on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM.
This Sports 56 traffic report is brought to you by Luttrell Belting. They keep you moving.
Summer's heating up, and so are the savings at Choate's. We've got 3 incredible offers to make your season spectacular. First up, our Grill and Chill with Choate's Summer Special. Upgrade your HVAC system and choose between a free Yeti cooler or a Green Egg grill on select systems. Then power through any outage with Choate's generators. Be one of the first 50 customers to buy a generator and score a massive 75-inch TV or an iPad. Also, don't forget about our tankless water heater offer. Purchase a tankless water heater from Choates and receive a premium toilet free. Don't wait. These offers are too good to last. Turn to the experts with Choates and call 347-8086 or visit us online today for your free estimate. Now introducing Choates Air Conditioning, Heating, Plumbing, and Generators. Choates, let our family serve your family.
Summertime's finally here, and that means it's time to party. Lucky for you, Family Leisure is having a summertime to party sale. Now, what's all included in this party sale? Practically everything. 24-foot above ground pools for as little as $19.99. All ladders, filter systems, and even robotic cleaners are 20% off. Come in and look at all of the in-stock patio furniture Family Leisure has. Plus, it's up to 50% off. Play gyms for the kids, that's $1,000 off. Patio umbrellas, take 20% off. You can get a 4-person hot tub for just under $3,000. We know you're really going to just use it for yourself. Family Leisure has discounted pricing on all in-stock pool toys and floats while the supplies last, so you better get in quick. Plus, Family Leisure has special financing available. Just ask an associate for all the details. Summertime means party time, and Family Leisure is ready for any party. Family Leisure, Whitten Road at I-40, where family and fun all come together.
You or someone you know or care about has dealt with a difficult divorce. When facing divorce, you need the attorneys at Rice Law. Nick and Larry Rice lead the firm with 3 generations and 7 decades of experience. Located in Memphis, serving the entire state of Tennessee and North Mississippi. Rice Law is who you need to call. Simple or difficult divorce, they know how to handle it. Call Rice Law at 901-526-6701, or for more information, visit them at aboutdivorce.com. That's aboutdivorce.com.
I've got him on the line, Rock and Ronnie Smith. And Ronnie, I hear it's the Make Christmas Summer event going on now at Gossett Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram Fiat.
That's right, Randy. I've got 2024 Ram 1500 Traceman Quad Cab 4-wheel drive, $649 a month.
Man, that is awesome. What else you got, Ronnie?
2024 Jeep Gladiator Sport 4-wheel drive, $659 a month.
That's a hot deal on Gladiator Sport. What else you got?
Get super power in a 2023 Charger RT Skypack, $698 a month. That's $8,600 off MSRP.
So drive past the rest and come to the best at Gossett Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram Fiat on the bike. Or shop online anytime at GossettMotorCars.net. 5,000 down. Ram RN 194282 MSRP 48,595. Jeep RL 116172 MSRP 51690. Charger PH 612877 MSRP 55110. Price includes all rebates and incentives and excludes PF 695. Payments include PF 695. All exclude tax, title, and license with approved credit. See dealer for complete details. Dealer stock only.
Now back to Sports Time on Sports 56 and 98.5 FM. Here once again are Brett Norsworthy and Brian Davis.
This is pretty cool, and we're just getting started, so.
Go crazy, folks! Go crazy!
This is Geraldo. It is crunch time.
You are looking live. In your life have you seen anything like that? Goodbye! Hello, Haskins.
It's obviously crunch time.
Hammer, nail, coffin, this baby is over.
The Double Steak Grilled Cheese Burrito, so good. Double the steak with nacho cheese sauce, seasoned rice, red strips, sour cream, and the 3-cheese blend wrapped inside a warm flour tortilla, with even more 3-cheese blend grilled on the top. The Double Steak Grilled Cheese Burrito, it hits the spot now at Taco Bell. And at Taco Bell, when they say they are feeding people's lives with unexpected good, they mean it. Bowl food you can't get anywhere else.
Well, Brett, what I learned is that a lot of people in this area and in Knoxville probably about to load up and get ready to head to Omaha because Tennessee is finals bound.
Got 3 days to get there.
That's right. Plenty of time, you know. You don't got to rush. A 7-2 win over Florida State. Really impressive. I mean, this is the same game we saw Friday night. That was a high-scoring affair, and Tennessee needed the 9th inning to come back and end up winning that game. This one, no problem at all. Pitching was unbelievable. That defense for Tennessee was unbelievable. The bats were hot like they always are. They get the 7-2 win, and now they can sit back and watch tonight's game between Texas A&M and Florida now has been moved to a 6:40 start because of how long that Tennessee.
Who do you think
State
they
game
want?
went. I think you want Florida. Yeah.
They're already a little taxed.
Certainly, and I think, Texas A&M a really good team. I think Florida, you can maybe bet on them losing some of that spark that they have right now. But tonight's going to be a really fun game. Tennessee can sit back and, see maybe. I guess it doesn't matter to them because we already know when the finals are going to be. But it would be nice if maybe Florida could pull the upset tonight and then tomorrow we get another game and, Tennessee can just sit there and relax and enjoy a game of baseball.
If it's Tennessee against the Aggies with the SEC, guaranteed another new College World Series champion, just the most dominant baseball conference out there. What I learned all the times we've got to watch the last 22 hours since the news of the passing of Willie Mays, the catch, whether it's the old-fashioned kind of newsreel or the game that day, or the still picture of it. It's my favorite sports photo of all time. That was in Game 1 of the 54 World Series, 111-win Cleveland team. Vic Wirtz, he was out. It led to the Giants sweeping. It's my favorite sports photo ever. My second favorite sports photo ever, that picture of Bear Bryant pregame when he had always leaned against the goalpost and watched his team work out pregame.
That's a good one. Those are two really good ones. What I could have done without, a couple things I could have done without. But I think I'll go with what we talked about in our last segment about the NCAA, again, discussing the potential expansion of the NCAA
I think you're a little angrier
tournament.
about it than I am. And that's rare.
I am. I 100% am.
Okay.
I like it where it's at. I don't think it needs to be expanded. I think if you don't make it, you're not deserving of it. Yes, every year we get
next year.
one or two snubs, and I think that's fine, but we can't have everybody in the tournament. You're either a good team that deserves to be in the tournament or you're not.
You make a great
I
case.
mean, it's as simple as that, because I think when you look at that, I remember Seton Hall, and I loved Seton Hall last year. Fun team. But did Seton Hall really deserve to be in the NCAA tournament last year? I think a lot of people would say no. That's another good question. That's a good team that I think you could have discussion about right there with Indiana State, which I think was kind of the big one that everyone could agree on. I think for the most part, they probably deserve to be in. But I don't like it. I could probably get behind 4 if we go the second Dayton. I could probably get behind that. I don't know. I can't at all, I don't think, get behind 8 teams.
You know what
That's way
somebody
too many.
should be doing right now?
What's that?
Lobbying for the second Dayton being in Memphis.
I think there should be 30 cities right now that are throwing their hands up and saying, we want to host if there is a second
Sports
Dayton.
Tourism, Convention Visitors Bureau,
100%.
right now.
Yes.
That's what we want.
Definitely. I'm with you.
Could have done without this if anybody's would dare claim there's any SEC privilege or it's not the best baseball league. I got to hear them. Because if you hear that, you're talking to a crazy man.
That's right. That's right. I mean, it's incredible what they've done. Tennessee already punching the ticket. You know the other ticket's either going to be Texas A&M or Florida. You look back at the past however many years and just the success the SEC has had, it is really, really impressive.
If you were Memphis, would you forego hosting ticket punching to the Final Four or first round like we had last year if you could be guaranteed the second Dayton every year like Dayton's guaranteed Tuesday? If you could get that every Wednesday from here on, would you take it?
I say yeah.
I would too.
I'd take it.
I'd jump at it.
Yeah, I would. That sounds fun. I would like that a lot. Where are you beaming tonight?
Beam me to the Bronx. Baltimore Orioles in the Bronx against the Bombers, 47-25 Baltimore against 51-24 Yankees. Okay, the Yankees, as usual, they've bought that October ticket. It's set. They're going to be in the playoffs. Brian, it's a long time to not play in a game that really matters before the playoffs start, and that's what gets those teams.
You're right about that. It definitely does, and we'll see. I mean, playing great baseball right now. Garrett Cole making his season debut tonight will be a lot of fun to watch. Let's see. Beam me tonight. We'll go to this Mariners and Guardians game. I think a matchup of two really good young pitchers. Brian Wu, 3-0 with a 1.07 ERA. Tanner Bibby, 4-2 with a 3.94 ERA. That game's already started, but beam me out there. I'll catch the rest of it. That one should be a fun one.
And we'll see any more NBA news tonight. There was a lot last night.
Yeah.
And golf during the day tomorrow in Connecticut.
That's right. That will be a lot of fun to keep an eye on tomorrow as well. Plenty of games to watch tonight in Major League Baseball. But that's all the time we have. Enjoy your night. We'll talk to you again tomorrow afternoon.
Hi, this is Troy Fiveash, owner of Fiveash Roofing. In these uncertain economic times, there are so many things as a contractor and a business owner that I cannot control.